Hello and welcome back to the Crowded Tavern, an actual play TTRPG podcast recorded live on Twitch every other Wednesday. Join us on our 5e homebrewed adventure written by our very own dungeon master, Martin Hoffman Larson, but you can call him Marty, and played out by our band of chaos gremlins. Hi, I'm your co-host, Amanda, and with me today is Ada Mori.
Hello.
Cheesy Gids.
Live, laugh, lemons.
Danny.
Hi. Why do I always have to follow Jake?
It's alphabetical. I should randomize it. I'm not sure. Rick with their new name, Rick Pixel.
Hi. Does that mean I'm still in? I haven't moved, even with a new name. I'm
No.
still in the same. Oh,
You
that's
haven't.
upsetting. Never
No,
mind.
sorry. And Marty himself,
That's me.
who
Hello.
is not in alphabetical order. I just put the DM last.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's not that important anyway. So
No.
Well, last as a statement of importance, really. My theory.
Okay,
Anyways, in the last session
I'll take it.
of the Crowded Tavern, we caught up with Benjamin and found out how he spent his morning at camp, while everyone else traveled to meet the goblins. Benjamin spied on Thrak and some of the other campers, finding out some of them were less than thrilled with our group adventuring off on their own. Benjamin also ran into Wortham, or is it Wortman, who warned him that his friends were in danger. Benjamin arrived at the cave the others have been fighting the bad ones in and makes his way inside, only to be shot with an arrow by a very aggroed Auburn. Auburn shifts back to his timid form and runs outside where he has a bit of a meltdown and is maybe comforted by the most awkward hug from Neza. Strix has a moment with some soot and ashes to perform a ritual. We all delve deeper into the caves and fight some more bad ones, interrupting a ritual to a large dragon-like statue. Auburn gets thrown into lava, but all ends up okay. Alright, now, what's down those tunnels? So that's us, all welcomed and caught up on Session 7 events. I will pass it over to Marty to get this session started.
That's me. So let's see if I can get this to work. So as I remember, because Amanda just reminded me, Auburn got healed up after having taken a little shower in lava. He got the killing blow on this, let's just say, boosted nothing you were fighting. And if I am not mistaken, one got away because strict fear cast a fear spell on them, so they ran into the known tunnel that's outside.
Can I? I'm just gonna stop us there for a second because there is some internet stuff going on here badly.
It's just
Yes.
Of course there is. Of course there is. So it's everyone but Amanda. Excellent. Excellent. Stop downloading porn, Tom. Stop it. Turn the porn off.
I think it's back. I think
think
it's
we're
got
back.
it itself.
I think we're back.
That was.
Yeah.
I think everyone went, didn't they?
Yeah,
That was
everything.
Discord.
That was
That wasn't
Discord.
us. That was
That was
Discord, yeah.
fully Discord.
Okay.
It's Wednesday. What do you expect?
Exactly. Exactly.
I literally
From the top.
heard nothing because it was just like.
I know. I was like, oh, it's just it's just
rewind.
starting. No, this is continuing. Marty, I have to stop you here.
I guess
Rewind.
because
Oh, we
I heard everything he said about what Auburn did, and then he moved on to Strix, and it was like, it's just cut. I have no idea what he's saying now.
All right.
All right. So just from the top, Marty.
From the top.
Make it drop. That's sorry.
All right, so last time where we ended was that Auburn took a shower in lava, but did get out, got healed up, and did have quite the killing blow on this very boosted and nothing that you were fighting. You were fighting multiple other ones. Strix feared one of them and he ran straight away into one of the tunnels that had been opened up. So he ran through the northern tunnel and is gone out of your sight. And I do believe that you have nothing left that you have sort of captured. He's probably still currently standing and just trying to hit you, hitting the air, not really hitting anything. But there is one left, together with like 4 or 5 of the actual goblins that you have saved. So that's where we're at currently. What do you want to do?
Marty, can I just quick question? My feet were in the lava, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. How do they look, even though they're healed?
I mean, if I guess you're wearing some kind of boots or something.
I were wearing boots. Yeah.
They're probably burned to a crisp.
So I'm wearing shorts now.
Basically, yeah.
You wear short shorts.
Sorry.
Auburn wears
Alright.
short shorts.
Nice. That's it. That's just what I wanted to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Strix will, I guess, turn to Neza as we've got this capture. I still have comprehend languages on, so if anybody's saying anything, I will understand. But assuming that our captive is not saying anything,
I mean, currently he's just trying to hit whatever is around him, but he's blinded, so he cannot see anything, and is just hitting air.
I'll just keep my distance and sort of look to Nether and be like, "Do you want to do your thing?"
How long does blind last?
I think it's only like a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll do the thing. And I cast my mind link on the nothing and say, what is going on? Start there.
And you hear a reply in your head that is like, "What is going on here? What?" And still just trying to hit whatever air that's around him. Still blinded for a little bit longer.
I need you to calm down. You're not going anywhere. You're not hitting anything. This fight is like very done. So just like calm yourself.
Who are you? How are you in my head? And at this point, he regains his sight and he's looking around and he can see that everyone of his friends are dead. And he comes down, or at least he's not, waving his he's not trying to claw anyone any longer.
That's better. Now, what's going on here?
What do you mean going on here? You're the one attacking our place.
I can see how you think that. However, you kidnapped goblins. Is that what they call it when they kidnap a goblin? I'm not actually saying that. I'm actually just thinking that. Goblin napped some goblins. That we have now rescued. You're ritualizing this weird statue thing. You stole my mag cans.
We found them.
You stole them.
The master will return. We
The
sacrificed.
master.
We did what we had to do.
Who is the master?
The large one, he left us.
The large one.
I hope this, whatever it is, was enough to bring him back.
What does the master look like?
He points at the statue.
We saw
Maybe.
that.
Maybe this is also good time to remind you all how the statue looks like, because it looks like one of those flying birds, but it's also sort of like one half of it is twisted a little bit.
For the benefit of anyone in chat who's not been watching for the whole series, flying bird is dragon. We just don't know what a dragon is in character.
And sorry, just checking, like, what are you sacrificing?
This power.
My power.
Can't you sit? By the way, the Meccan is still standing and just sprouting out magic. Yes, the power.
And how did you know to give the power to this?
Can't you feel it?
Oh,
Delicious. And you can see that he start walking towards the Meccan.
but sorry, to you, DM, the mag can was like broken open, right? It wasn't twisted open or something.
They broke it open, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you? No, that's not the right question. Yeah, it is. How did you know to open the canister?
Can't you sense it? Can't you sense it? And he's just starting to walk towards the Meccan, like he's drawn to it, like he can't help himself.
To everybody else, I'm gonna say, like, don't let him get closer. You saw what happened to the other.
I rush over and just like grab him and hold him up by his scruff. Get away from me! Get away from me!
So I'm gonna relay everything that he said to everybody else. So apparently the master will return.
And we don't know who the master is.
Well, it's that thing. I think, you know, that massive fire red bird, scaly. Possibly
blizzard.
is the
That's
master.
the master.
That might be the master.
Okay.
Wait, so they've summoned a firebird, and it's on its way here right now.
Yeah, did they say that the master was like coming now, or that just he will be back at some point to get the mad cans?
That's a great question I'm going to ask. So I asked that.
So you're asking what?
Is the master coming here now?
He has to. We will give him this power. He has to. He'll return to us.
So you don't actually know, you have no evidence that he will come into this small cave, because you know that red fire bird thing is very large. I don't actually think he'll fit through these tunnels. You know that, right?
What red firebird? No, the master.
Okay, back up. Who's the master? You said it was this guy, and
Points back at the statue. The master.
I shake him and then go, is it the big red thing with wings that breathe fire?
He just looks weird at you. He doesn't understand a word you're saying. He's like,
oh wait, we can't hear this
no,
conversation.
you can't.
No, you can't.
But
I
you would
just-
see like confusion on Neza's face, like.
All right, sorry. I'll just rewind. So I'll just shake him.
So
this large one is not nice.
So the large one, the master that you were talking about, is he like the size of, you know, this guy who's holding you?
No.
He's bigger.
Yes.
And
This one tiny.
And he looks like, how many legs does he have?
He can have 4. He can have 2.
Does he have wings?
Yes.
And does he breathe fire?
Yes.
And he's very large?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same thing.
No.
No.
Now you're confusing him.
Yeah.
I am very confused. Amanda is very confused.
I mean, when you're looking at this creature, you can also see that it's kind of twitchy and sort of all over, looking everywhere, all over the place, and then looking at the Mac can and looking at you guys with its one eye. And
I'm changing tactics. You used to be a goblin thing. What was your name?
I used to be a goblin.
What was your name before you became what you are now?
And you can sense the confusion because it doesn't seem like he remembers. I've always been like this.
I don't think that's true. Is any of the other goblins that we rescued, are they still there?
Yeah, they're there. I think some of them, ran away to just get in safety, but all are still around, and some of the other few ones are still there. The chieftain is still there.
Okay. I kind of turn Auburn, who is holding him, in the direction so that he can see Orr and the chieftain. Say, you used to be one of these. You looked like this.
No, look, tiny claws, only two eyes. No.
And you changed into what you are now.
That's absurd.
It's not. Do you remember, what's your first memory?
Wow, you started the DM. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Won't be the first time.
DM thinking. I remember this place. I remember caves. I remember forest outside. All my friends. And he looks down at the dead bodies. All them. So hungry.
You're hungry?
We were.
What did you eat?
Not food. Hungry for power? For that delicious feeling. And then he looks back at the Mac can.
I stand in front of the Mac can so he can't see it.
Can you take us to where you have your first memory from?
I can?
Okay. Auburn, this creature is going to take us to somewhere. This might be a terrible idea, but we're gonna follow him, everyone.
To where?
His first memory, where he possibly has been changed into this corrupted being.
I drop him roughly to the floor and then point my sword at him.
Okay.
With a really aggressive look.
Do you want to give me an what's it called?
Intimidation?
Intimidation with an advantage, because
That's a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Or
sign
20.
off well.
That's fair. I see your roll and I call it. No. Just for fun, let's see. Insight. And as you do so, you can see that he flinches and he moves back away from you.
I do that thing where I snort steam out of my nostrils, and then I point the sword at for him to start moving.
Can you do that?
In my imagination, I can.
Okay.
I'll allow it. Okay, so then he doesn't do what I had in mind. Then he actually starts. He looks up at you, and you can see that he's scared Auburn, and he makes a quick glance at the Mac can, but looks back at Auburn, and then starts walking out of the cave. Also, leads you through outside the cave, and then he stops. This
definitely have made sure the Mac cans are in a hole or something.
I give Strix the hole before we leave.
Okay. So with the two unharmed containers you just put in, what do you do with the last one before you leave? Because it's still spouting out
as well.
It's still spouting out magic.
Can I put some of these leaves on top of where it's been hit and wrap it up in rope? Is that would that hold it? With a nifty little Boy Scout knot?
Maybe.
Just say yes.
Marty doesn't like to say yes to out there plans.
Let's do what would that be even? Like a survival?
So, yeah, I can do a survival check.
Yeah, just to see how neatly you do it. No, it's not. Okay. It's not holding. Sorry.
That's an 8 for our listeners.
Yeah, an 8 doesn't cut it, I think.
Oh, I tried. I need to brush up on my knot skills again. Well, I'm out of ideas.
Anyone who wants to help him, maybe.
I was about to say, I'm just seeing if I can find anything that I can help him with more effectively than just giving a hand, but I can give you a hand and also cast guidance.
That is probably too late, because you already did his roll. But
okay.
You don't. Okay, I'm just asking then, do any of you have mend? A lot of shaking heads.
No.
Well, then you can do a survival check as well to try and help him out a little bit if you want to.
Let me do and see where that goes.
But I guess you can guidance yourself before you help him.
Yeah, I'll do that on myself. Uh, 11.
So with the help of each other, you do wrap something around it and try and shut the whole shot. There's still those magical capabilities can still feel that there's magic still. It's still not completely tight, but at least it's it's escaping at a lower quantity now. So.
Got it.
That'll do, I suppose, for the time being.
So what do you do with that damaged one?
Somebody want to carry it so that we don't put it in the cold where it might explode on all the others? Okay,
I can carry it. That's fine. I do as well as the really bad knot job. I do 2 little straps of rope to go over my shoulders.
Sure. It's heavy though. For
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, Arlene had trouble carrying just an empty one. Just want to point that out. So.
Yeah. Arlene definitely.
Sorry, have you got something to say?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, geez, Arlene, you're so talented.
You're so strong.
At this point, 3 of you would be dead if it wasn't for me. So y'all can keep saying I'm useless, but I know that's not true anymore.
I didn't say useless. I actually said you're so strong.
I said talented. Sorry.
Whatever.
Okay, so then nothing brings us outside the cave mouth to where the put out campfire is?
Pretty much. It's out here. I guess my birthplace?
Like right
That's
here?
questioning me. Here, and he just, makes a gesture. And he's turning around and looking at who was carrying the mech can.
Hi.
So, and then he's just looking at Benjamin and then turning back.
So this is the earliest thing you can remember. It's
This
being
place.
here.
Oh, I don't know how you can.
Oh, I can't talk to him. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm going to talk to the wall.
So I'll
So this is your first memory. Being this cave.
I mean, just to make it easy, I guess if anyone wants to talk, I guess you just talk through Neza. So
perfect.
So,
Do that.
Yeah. So he's like, yes.
I just stand there menacing him.
Yeah, he's keeping an eye on Auburn as well.
Strix, do you get any sense of like corrupted magic out here?
I will perform detect magic as a ritual.
Okay.
I get a sense of any magic.
Probably a little bit, yeah. I mean, you can probably sense that there's something has gone on here, but it's difficult to pinpoint because it's been a while. So whatever, so it's only like traces of whatever is happening here that you can sort of sense and see, but you can't get like a proper fix on what exactly it is.
Something. There's definitely something.
I would have pictured like a corruption ritual, like in the cave, not outside in the open where it's nice and sunny. But that's just me.
Lots of reasons you might want to do it outside. Maybe it involved lots of fire, or who knows.
As opposed to all the lava downstairs. Just saying.
We were told that the ones that were corrupted left a while ago, though, right? And they were gone for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
It feels old. It feels old. I guess it must have been a really powerful ritual if there's still residuals around a month later.
But if this goblin's first memory was here, can you ask if they've left this place, or is it just here that they remember?
I've only been here mostly. We don't move too far away. Only when we felt the power.
The Mac can.
Mm-hmm. You see, was there somebody else here in your first memory that didn't look like you?
Yes, Master.
So Master was
here.
Here?
Yes.
And Master looks
Master,
like...
my mommy?
Well, sure. You know...
Never thought about it that way.
So, out of interest, what color is your master?
He's very dark red. And on some places, and other places very dark, I guess.
Does he look like this?
What are you?
Because I drew it as it was flying away.
The dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
And he looks at it and part of him does.
You criticize my drawing. No, out again.
What does the other part look like?
Like different. Like. Sorry, I just need to quickly translate a word. Like withered. Or burned?
don't think the big flying thing we saw is the biggest flying thing here.
No.
Mm.
Could there be
Come
more
again?
than one dragon? Or more than one giant fire thing?
Listen, yes.
Did he say anything to you?
At first, he was very happy with us. Then he got very upset. We did our best.
What did he get upset with you about?
He wanted us to use magic or power. And we did our best. But
To do what?
anything. I don't know. He wanted to teach us.
What did you attempt?
I mean, none of us were that good at it. We did learn to do the eye thing.
Benjamin. Didn't Wharton also teach you some magic?
And my eyes start dashing. Maybe. He also gave me Otis, which we found out from is a demon of sorts. That maybe
Otis
polymorph.
headbutts you.
Yes.
Wait,
Hi.
is Vortum a firebird?
I look at Otis. Otis, blink once if you know what's going on.
Otis is just staring at you.
Okay, fine. Okay, good boy. Oh God.
I think we should consider that maybe Wharton could be behind this.
Mm.
He could probably look however he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Auburn?
he say that Master sometimes had 2 legs and sometimes had 4?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does Master look like when he has 2 legs?
Auburn?
Yes.
Can I get you to do a Constitution saving throw real quick?
Sure.
Oh.
That's a 14.
Perfect. Thanks. Master, when has 2 legs, looks strange. Difficult to see.
Like he's in the shadows?
I do this to the others.
Oh God.
I'm just staring at Benjamin.
Yep, I'm just like kicking the dirt around. Oh God, why is it happening?
So he can change form.
Cool.
Have you
What's to
Okay.
say that those are the only 2 forms he has?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's gonna be my next question. Have you seen Master in anything else apart from 4 legs and 2 legs?
That sounds ridiculous.
More ridiculous than seeing something with 4 legs and 2 legs?
I guess not when you put it that way.
Can you communicate with the master?
Master left us.
When is the last time you saw him?
Oh, I don't know. It has been light and it's been dark so many times since then.
That is what happens when the sun goes up and down.
Wait, guys, wait. Wharton knows we're here because he told Benjamin,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll definitely have felt that. It'll indicate the mag can that's open.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to hang around?
Probably not.
I kind of
But
want
what
to
a-
see what's in those tunnels downstairs, though.
Yeah, can you ask him if there's any more of those or anything else with power?
What's down the tunnels?
Oh. Tunnels are leads to somewhere else, to the outside, but we don't use those tunnels anymore. Some of us went missing.
In the tunnels.
Yes.
I think we should go down them. Sounds perfectly safe.
Of course you do.
Right.
out of character. I'm gonna very quickly I'm gonna try and communicate with my new friends, obviously. And I'm gonna ask them internally, do these creatures refer to you as their master?
I guess they would.
Great.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah. Guys, I can confirm that it's him. I just spoke to him. Yeah, it could be him.
What do you mean you spoke to him?
Oh, I can speak to him anywhere. It's great.
You.
This
also
is new information, Benjamin.
Oh, hi.
And now that you actually spoke to him, you also notice now that he's standing in the tree line watching you.
My face goes white. And I'm just like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just like,
See, these pets. They were supposed to be so great, but they're so useless. Whereas you, so much better, so much more intelligence. You can actually use the spells that I teach you.
I again internally say to him, didn't you call me useless the other day? Eat it, Marty.
Look,
I mean, you can always get better. This is just the beginning.
Yep. Okay.
You have so much more potential than these things.
Are you talking to the creatures or my friends?
The creatures.
Okay. That's what I say. Okay. I'm generally just like, I don't know what's going on right now. Damn children. Yeah. Okay. I'm just taking all this in. Whilst Arlene's giving me side eye.
That's a constant state of our relationship, to be fair. So...
That's a good point.
Do any of us see Wharton, or is it just
No.
Benjamin?
Just
Okay.
Benjamin.
Yeah, I think I'm too frightful to say anything at this point. Yep, that'll be it for now. I'm just gesturing to the tree line, just
Do we notice this?
I mean,
I'm gonna
you
do
can
my
do a
own
perception
insight
check if you
Oh,
want
perception,
to.
Yeah.
Unless you feel like you would see it. I would say 15 definitely sees Benjamin's gestures. I guess it's not super subtle either. So
If I glance to where Benjamin's, can I see him in the tree lines?
Oh, of course he can.
I was about to say, yeah, because this is not something that is always
Yeah.
the case that we can sort of see. So
I'm just going
kind
to
of like, are you okay?
I think he's here.
I'm just going to silently move in front of Benjamin to where he is looking, and then just staring at that direction, threateningly.
okay, yeah, you do that. There's
Can I
not too
just
much to
ask
see besides the
Auburn?
trees and bushes and stuff.
I love the idea of you staring really menacingly at like the tree directly next.
Absolutely, that's what
And
I'm
like,
doing.
I just need
I'm
to
not looking
know,
at it.
Auburn, are you like shifted, Auburn, or not shifted?
I'm shifted.
How long does that last?
Normally not that long.
Strix will land on his on Auburn's shoulder and join him in the staring.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even engaging with what's going on over there. I have my attention on Benjamin. So you said you spoke to him. What did he say?
I relay the information that these things can often or occasionally call him master.
So he's a shape-shifting fire bird demon shadow. We should leave.
Tunnels.
That's also given me magic.
The tunnels lead to a river.
The tunnels lead to a river. We should check that out.
Our camp is next to a river. Why do we need to go to an underground one?
I just really want to look at these tunnels, okay?
All right, but what do we do about that? And I point my sword at the nothing.
Bring it with us, leave it with Or, one or the other.
Tie it to a rock. I don't care.
What does it want us to do with it? Does it want to come with?
You want to go on an adventure?
I just want Master to return. Is he here?
Yeah.
I feel like I could. He is?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Can you see him?
No?
Mm-mm.
I ask.
Don't you tell.
Whoa. Oh no.
I'm gonna ask him to make himself visible.
No.
Please.
Why?
I feel like he needs you right now.
I don't need him.
Well, that's a very toxic relationship there.
I'm over them.
Wow, okay. Move on quick as well, noted. Okay.
If you never see your master again, like, what would that mean for you?
And you're gonna see how he just turns scared all of a sudden. Like, that thought had never crossed his mind. And he's like, of course I will see Master again. I will see him again! And you can see that he's getting more and more upset about it.
Sure.
I just see him getting uppity, and then I push him to the floor.
I don't know if I like angry Auburn.
Yeah. Would you say noticeably upset by this knowledge? That you might not ever see Master again?
Sorry, what?
Does this creature...
Oh, you're asking the creature.
I'm not asking, I'm asking you as a DM.
Okay, yeah. So what are you asking me, the DM?
Is the creature visibly like upset by this notion that you might never see the Master?
Yeah.
Okay. Would Benjamin be affected by this? Yes. You help us, I might be able to help you find Master. You know these caves, right?
So, just asking out of curiosity, because Nessa is the one who's asking between
Yeah.
you. Is Nessa feeling all right with this question?
No, I think she would change how she says it slightly. Say like, we know your master.
You know, Master.
Mm-hmm.
Master has other friends?
I mean, I wouldn't call us friends, but
You're not friends with Master.
no. But we know master.
This is very confusing
I
to
know.
me.
I know. But we may be able to I don't know, let you see him again, or let you see him again. If you help us out, through the tunnels.
Ooh. And you can see that he's very conflicted about it. Tunnels are scary, but Master, reunited with Master, and maybe more power. Tunnels. And I'll do a quick roll because I actually don't know how he feels about helping with that request. Okay. Okay. I could show tunnels leading to water, to the river.
Do both tunnels lead to the river?
No, just northern one.
What
Or
does
the top one of them.
the other
He
one
doesn't know
lead to?
north, sorry.
What does the other one lead to?
The other one leads to cave. Empty cave, boring. Other one goes to water. Fishies.
And what's scary?
I don't know, just our friends go missing sometimes if they use tunnel.
Okay. Sure, take us through them. Let's see if we can figure out why your friends go missing.
I'd rather go see Master.
Well, maybe he's down there.
It's a weird place for Master to be, but if we close the tunnels and never went in there and Master's down there, okay, let's go.
Okay.
So you want to go to the tunnels with this whatever thing, the nothing. But what about the goblins that are also there? Are you talking to them, doing anything with them? And yeah, Adam want to say something?
Yeah, it's just sort of as we're going back into the cave, I'll land on our Liam's shoulder. And then very, very quietly in his ear. You know the spell polymorph, right? From the portal? You were a gorilla, I think.
I mean, I did. I haven't been able to do it since getting here.
But maybe you could at some point again.
Can I try pulling at those strings of magic to see if I can cast that spell? Without
Sure.
casting it, just to see if I have it.
Level do you need for that?
I don't think I have it out of character. I'm just saying, like in character, can I try and confirm if I have it just by seeing if I can feel the spell out a little bit and if I could cast it?
Polymorph. It's a bard spell. Requires 4th level. Where is Alim?
I believe I took it at a much later level than we are at the moment.
Yeah. But I just want to see what level, because technically, as we did establish last time, you wouldn't have forgotten how it works. You just can't. So 4th level, and currently you can cast 4th level. So yes, you do feel like you could potentially. You do get a sense that potentially.
Okay.
But you would have to actually cast it to confirm it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I could cast it. Why? What's on your mind?
Well, maybe you could be master.
To what end?
Huh? It's good to have the option.
I think polymorph is only for beasts.
Strix doesn't know the spell. He doesn't know that exactly how it works, and he doesn't even know what the dragon is.
Yeah. Good point. And I think I'd know that as well. That I wouldn't be able to change shape. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like I can't shapeshift. It's like taking the form of a beast essentially.
Like a big beast with 4 legs and some wings and.
Oh God, I don't know if I've got that in me. Jeez. No, unless I was exposed to a large amount of. I'm not going to suggest that to Strix actually, because that would be viable.
What'd you say?
In my current state, no, I couldn't do that. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I can't get much bigger than the form you saw when we arrived here.
You could probably not do the size, but you would probably do like mimic the dragon shape, but probably just a smaller version of it.
Yeah.
I'm going over to Neza, and I'm picking up the nothing, and just holding it by the scruff. And I say, we should probably check on these goblins, make sure they're all right
I agree.
before we go spelunking in any tunnels.
You're right. We should. Marty, did Orr and the chieftain come outside with us, or did they just like?
I mean, I guess that they probably followed you as well. Yeah, you do see that when you were leaving the caverns, that some of the goblins were running around picking up things and stuff like that. And after all, and they are now coming outside. And so yeah, they're meeting. All of them are now together and meeting you at the outside.
Okay.
And Orr is looking up at you.
Well, I sever the mind link with the nothing and connect to Orr.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Are you okay?
Chieftain is all right. Most of the other people are all right. There's a few deaths.
Sorry for those you lost.
Thanks.
This is gonna sound weird, but do you recognize this other creature as one of your tribe people?
And she looks at them and she's like, I can't recognize him, but he has the clothes has like a wristband that looks like someone I know or knew.
Does that someone have a name?
Sure. I'll just pull a goblin name out of my hat real quick. Jat.
Jat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know a lot of these bad ones have died. But I'd really like to find a way to reverse this if we can and bring your friend home. But I don't know if we can.
I mean, if you can, great. but it also sort of seems like you killed most of them.
Well, yep, that happened.
Not many left.
Not many left, or yep, that's true.
But they were bad ones. Also, Auburn rolled a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20 for 27.
Perfect.
Or we're going back in the cave to try to get to figure out what's actually going on. Where can we find you again if you want to go home?
You can. We will. She's quickly turning around, just talking to the chieftain, and then she turns back to you, and she's like, "We'll go home, but he says you can come visit because you saved us." And then she sort of explains quickly how to get there, and it's basically southeast from your current position. And she says that there is like a small lake. Their camp is like at a small lake to the southeast from there. And Chieftain also said that he is very he's apologizing that all the stuff that we gathered for you, that these bad ones broke it or whatever.
That's okay. That's not your fault. Or his fault.
But we wanted to give it as a gift because you seemed like it was yours.
Probably is ours. But you know, we'll figure it out when we come and see you at the camp. At your home.
Neza,
Okay.
Yes.
will you tell Or that she was very brave in there? From me.
I pass that on.
Then, so, and are you telling it that was Auburn that said it, or you're just saying it as you? He very brave too. All of you, very brave.
I relay that to the group as well. Okay, we will see you at your home as soon as we can. I don't know when, but we have, because we're going to go in the caves and.
We will know.
Okay. How?
This is. We'll always keep lookout,
Oh.
so nobody gets too close.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's fine. Look
I could
out,
just see
that's totally
Jake. I
fine.
could see the expression on Jake's face was amazing. It was.
It's like, are you all master?
It's all a ruse.
Mm.
Okay. Well, be safe going home, and we'll see you when we see you.
You'll be safe too.
We will. All right. Let's go to the tunnels. Let's go inside.
All right. So the goblins are collecting their debt and they're leaving the site as you are passing them all and going further into the caves. And they've collected a lot of all the stuff that they had gathered, and it's a lot of your doodads and things. So they're sort of like just okay, they're just putting it down, and so it's still there in case you come back to it.
Could we? This is in character. Could we perhaps take a little break before we go into the caves where all the bad ones went missing?
Sure.
I think that's a good idea.
I could use a
Might
small
be good
rest
to-
chance.
Prepare.
I like snacks.
Carrot?
I'll offer you some worms.
Carrot, yes. Worms, I'll pass. Strix, thank you so much, but thanks. No.
But before we do, DM, I'm going to use the second wind to regain some hit points then.
Okay. Cheater.
That'll be 12 hit points.
All right. Are you adding it yourself in the
Yeah.
system? Yeah. Super. In that case, you will have a short break in game, and we'll also have a short break out of game.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can we roll any hit die on our short break?
You can.
Ooh.
I would like to roll 2.
Okay.
I would also like to roll 1.
Okay.
I'll be doing a cheeky arcane recovery.
I will also do.
I got
Yeah.
10 hit points back.
Punishments.
I got 6.
I have nothing fancy doing.
got a rat.
Just having a rest.
Yeah, same.
I'll roll 1 more. There we go. Up to max hit points. That's a 9 plus. And so.
Cool. All right, short rest all around.
So you all had your break. Quick little rest. And then you're using this nothing to lead you through these tunnels. Correct?
Correct. So I would like to reconnect my mind link. Reconnect my mind link. It doesn't matter. Just to have it there. And occasionally I would just like to call this bad one Jat. Just to see if the name gets recognized.
Okay. That's a good question. Let me do a roll to see if he recognizes its name. If it is done. It seems like how would it react? It definitely seems like it reacts to it. So, like, you know, when you call someone their name, but I don't think they themselves make, you know, the proper connection. But they do react to it.
It's interesting. I just make a mental note of that.
I'm going to before we move on. I'm going to scoot over to Alim.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a Constitution saving throw.
Did you think I was going to do that? That's 25.
Okay, still good.
So I scoot over to Alim, and I just go. I just wanted to say, thank you for saving me. That was a real tough spot.
Why did I save you?
The healing.
Oh, the healing. Yes, yes. You're more than welcome, obviously. I thought you're back. You know that, right?
I do. You really do. And I appreciate it. Just want to let you know.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
Also,
How are the feet?
they're bare.
I can
But
see.
it's not that bad. Actually, I kind of like the feel of the ground beneath my feet. It's got like a primal thing going. I like that. Also, Strix, you were amazing. Did your powers come back?
I'm definitely getting something from the mechan. Thank you. I mean, you obviously were pretty impressive yourself with the whole.
Oh, please. Also, Benjamin, I want to say, I am so sorry for shooting you. I just reacted. Still,
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I was hoping you'd compliment me too, but yeah, that's totally fine. It happens, you know. It's fine. You did a great job, by the way, and I look into your eyes. So you did really great.
Well, thank you, but I just wanted to let you know that whatever this Wharton does or has plans for, I will never let him hurt you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Auburn.
And Neza, of course, you were amazing too. Couldn't have done this without you.
That's fine. Without me, you might still be in the lava.
Yeah, you pulled me out.
I did. So yeah. But that's fine. I would have done that for anyone.
Obviously you would, because you're amazing.
As you're walking down the tunnels, you get to a place where the tunnel goes into two directions.
Which way, Jat?
Oh, it could be this way. It could also be that way. Oh, he seems unsure.
How many times has he been down here?
Oh, I don't think he's ever been down here.
Okay, great.
It could be the right one. And he looks at the other one. It could also be the other right one.
Toss a coin. Let's go.
So you're just tossing a coin?
Can we wait? It's not just toss a coin. There's elements to this. Also, we have
let the DM choose.
we have the Boy Scout. Could you not potentially look and see if there's a path that clearly leads to water?
Would I be able to sense that in a dark cave?
Not sense. Use your skills of navigation.
Oh yes, yes, that would be a fantastic idea.
Hear water.
Can I hear water? Yes.
You can
Maybe.
use. You can do a nature check. You can do an investigation check, or you can do a perception check. It's really down up to you how you want to try.
Let's do a nature check.
Can I assist him so he gets advantage?
Sure, you are living out in nature to, or at least know how to. So,
Okay. Advantage.
mm-hmm.
A 15 with advantage.
Okay. You can feel some air from one of the directions, the right tunnel.
Okay.
Sort of like, that would potentially be a way out. Whereas the other one, not so much.
Okay. This could go very badly. I'm going to say not the way the air is. I'm going to go the other way.
Okay. That's not what I expected, to be fair.
Go
if
the wrong
air
way
is-
first, like a proper gamer.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want to see if there are any chests?
No, in my mind, it's just like, hey, if air is usually around, wide open spaces, it's not going to be that way because we want to go into the cave.
Okay.
It's some kind of logic.
I'm regretting this instantaneously, but it's
That's
fine. We're
fair.
going this way. We're going
Okay.
this way.
So you're going the opposite way of the air.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't
Go
want.
wrong.
That's fine. I'll just
say
turn this
anything.
one around, and then it works still. So okay.
I do want to say that all of my respect for Benjamin hinges on whether or not this is correct.
Okay.
I'm not saying that in character. I'm just letting everyone know in the game. That's all.
Yeah.
Fine. So Benjamin, you're pointing in a direction, and Nothing is. That would have been my guess too, and he just starts walking in that direction.
You liar.
And
Off
you
we go
continue.
then.
continue into the tunnel, and you can see that it turns around to the left. So you take like a left turn, and you continue for probably like 50 feet. And then there's like a right turn. And in the moment, turn right around the corner, you see like pretty much right in front of you a Nothic standing.
Does he look threatening? Is he?
At
What's he doing?
first you feel like you get the shock of seeing, the other Nothic down there. But then when you look closer, it just feels like he's standing still like this, like in a pose, like he was, running, and then boop. And I need whoever.
Is he by any chance made of stone?
I was about to say. I feel like holding.
Are you using light or are you using dark vision?
Well, I assume that I still have that pebble that Arlene gave me light with, because I do not have dark vision.
I naturally have dark vision.
I naturally, I've also got my torch.
Yeah, if you have light, then you can see that he doesn't look like he's in stone or anything. But I do need whoever is up front or feel like they would be up front to do a quick perception check.
I feel like I would be in front with Benjamin.
Yeah, sure.
Perception?
Perception, that is correct.
That's only going to be 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah, 8 for me. We'll go for that.
Oh, that. That's some good rolls right there.
I might actually have to start rolling like we.
So because it's dark, you just see this Nothic standing there, and he has its back to you, and all of a sudden he starts like he his body, he doesn't move, he doesn't move his limbs, but he's starting to move towards you
Without moving?
Without moving, yeah.
I take several steps back.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit for a laugh.
I scream in a C minor.
I tackle it.
You tackle it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So you run forward and tackle it, and as you're running forward, oh shit! I need to find this thing.
This is going to be stupid.
I don't want it.
Okay, so you're running forward and you're jumping and you're tackling it, and as you are jumping towards it, you feel like some kind of gel is like encompassing you.
No! You bastard!
And I believe that you take some damage from that. So let's do a quick damage roll. You take 47 damage.
Oh shit!
What is this?
And I quickly need to put you all in this scene.
Oh god!
And then I think we're rolling for initiative.
Holy shit.
Strix has 48 total hit points.
Don't go in. Don't follow him.
I think I regret taking you down this route.
I only have 44. I'd be dead if that thing touches me.
Ow!
I think it did roll quite. Yeah, it did roll relatively high. So who's up front? I mean, Auburn, he's inside of it.
Yeah,
I'm as up front as I can get.
I said I took several steps back, so I might be at the back at this point.
I'm just kind of hanging out in the middle, looking at it.
Who's up front?
Yeah, that'd be
Benjamin.
me.
Okay.
Yes. Put the child right in front of you.
Middle. Oh,
Well, you were leading the way.
I know.
It's not like we put you there specifically.
How much is light again? Is it like 20 20 bright and then 20 dim. That's how it is, right?
Sorry.
So there we go, some light. Strix, who are you sitting on the shoulder of, Strix?
Not Auburn.
You'll sit on Neza because then you're nice.
Okay.
Little
Why not,
square,
Strix?
and
Why not?
It's perfectly
And then-
safe.
we also had one Nothic that are friendly but very badly hurt, I guess.
He had a short rest.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll name him Jet because he actually has a name.
Because that's what I'm calling him.
And first step, activate the map. So you came from down here, this tunnel. And yeah. Auburn is now inside the cube. And I guess... Oh yeah, we should probably add everyone to combat. There we go.
I was going to say, I can't roll.
You should be able to roll now. Oops. Where did that one go? This one is removed. Okay.
Might be the worst I've ever rolled.
I rolled 15.
15?
Yep.
For Neza?
I did worse than you, Auburn, don't worry.
How about Benjamin?
8.
8.
It's great. You can pick me up when I'm dead.
Alright. So... we should also have some combat music now that we're actually doing stuff. There we go. First round of combat. You now all, as Auburn jump forward, you now see that he's also suspended in air, and you start to realizing that there's actually, it's not completely see-through. There's actually something there, like a transparent, weird being of sorts. So what is Strix doing and thinking?
Strix. Okay. I guess first question. Has Strix read about gelatinous cubes? Does he know what this is from like book learning, or are they not a thing?
Probably similar creatures, yeah, something similar.
Like, what would Strix know about like how strong they are, how favored we'd be in this fight? Is Strix from his knowledge of gelatinous cubes? Is he worried, or is he like, oh, we'll just kill him?
I mean, you tell me. Would Strix have, read up on stuff like this?
I mean, so he's very well versed in like dark magics and things, but I don't know about monsters as much. I, Adam, don't know that much about gelatinous cubes. I don't know how magic they are, or how common they are, or how strong they are.
I mean, I guess that he would probably have heard of something like this because it's just such a silly thing. But they do exist in your world as well. So he probably just know the gist of it. But I don't think he has. I mean, you can say if you have ever fought one before, but I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So. But he can definitely see that it doesn't look, it doesn't look, Auburn looks like he's in pain.
Okay. I'm gonna
Cry?
I'm gonna pick up a stone off the ground and just sort of chuck it into like the area that looks like it's not quite see-through, but around Auburn, not like at Auburn. Okay, let me just see what, and I'll do a magic stone for good measure.
So you 10 hits.
That's a natural one, though.
Well, then explain to me how you actually failed to hit this thing.
Please hit me.
I mean, if you've got the hit points to spare, I guess I don't miss, because I mean apparently I tend to hit, but rather than aiming for the area around Auburn, I smack Auburn right between the eyes.
I mean, you sort of just react and throw a stone, both because of reaction, but also because you're curious about this thing. And as the gel is, closing around Auburn, you just, you've never made such a precision throw before in your life, but this time you just managed to, just nail it and you hit Auburn.
I just give you this. Why?
Do you want a damage roll? Or
Yes,
we could.
Yes.
Oh no.
Turn that
10 bludgeoning damage.
How much?
From a stone?
It was a
10?
magic
Stone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This is bad.
All right. Is that your turn, Strix? Oops.
Wait, where am I? How close am I? Yeah, I'm gonna back the fuck up.
Wait, sorry. So you step on, you throw a stone at Auburn, and then you just yeet on out of there.
Keep better.
Jeez.
you just wait until Auburn gets out of here.
Yeah, I can say I'm more worried about Auburn than the cube.
All right. If that's your turn, then it's Neza and Benjamin on deck.
Okay, so similar question to Strix. I recognize this as a gelatinous cube.
You do, and you know it, and yeah.
And I remember a conversation that I had with Frayne.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So everything Amanda knows about.
Someone just rewatched episode 1.
It's very fresh in my mind. So everything that Amanda knows about gelatinous cubes, I learned from the D&D movie. And so that's not very much. And Neza apparently knows a lot more than I do. So is it possible to pull somebody out of a gelatinous cube?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to do that.
Okay. So what would that actually be to pull someone out? Would that be like
Nothing happens. It's all successful.
It should be in the monster's description, Marty.
to pull a creature out? Okay, here we go. Okay, doing so requires a successful DC 12 strength check. And the
I
creature
was about to say, you're gonna read the rest?
and the creature making the attempt takes 3d6 acid damage. So you take damage, but you can pull him out if you succeed on a DC 12.
Okay, I'm super not the person to be doing strength checks, but here we go. It's a 3.
All right. I'll roll a 3d6. You take 12 damage for that attempt. So you're trying to reach in, but you could feel the acid on you as you're trying to, and that's probably why you pull back with a 3. So.
Yeah, okay. We can get Auburn out.
Yeah, your melting hands seem like that's a great idea.
The longer he's in there, the longer Auburn's gonna melt too.
Oh. All right, 6 seconds. That's gone. So, is that your turn, Neza? Are you still just going to stand in the way as well, or are you moving away?
Is it moving this way?
No, but you're standing, so nobody else can.
Oh
get
no,
to
then I'll move out of the way. Be like, somebody else try. I'm not very strong. Not you,
Benjamin?
Auburn or Arlene.
I was gonna say, I can barely lift a Mac can.
Auburn,
An
we
empty
need
Mac
you
can.
to pull yourself out. You're the only strong one here.
I believe I do get the chance, so I hope I can.
So the fact that Neza just said someone else try and it's Benjamin's turn, he's obviously going to listen to Neza.
She's very wise.
I'm gonna try.
No, Benjamin, don't.
No, I know. Can I get Otis to help me?
I mean, you could probably get Otis to do it for you.
I don't. No.
Okay. then I don't know how he would help you in this situation. I mean, he can probably try and pull on you.
Yeah, Otis will try and pull on my shirt behind me, I guess.
Sure. But you just roll a normal roll, I would say.
So what? A strength saving throw, right?
What did I say? Yes.
It was a strength saving
Strength.
throw?
No, just a strength check. So just
Okay.
Strength check.
No.
So just a normal D20.
D20 plus your strength modifier.
Oh, goody! +1. Not 20.
Yes!
The child did it.
So you see how
It was Otis pulling on your shirt that really helped. Yeah.
you take 12 damage in the process, but you do see how Benjamin is running up and sticking his arms into the goo, and him and Otis together pulls out Auburn, if I can get to him inside the queue. There we go, and Auburn, you're out, and you can get air again.
Oh, I feel squeaky clean.
You look like you have goo on you.
I guess that all the burned stuff is now being eaten by acid, so you're getting more and more involuntary undressed, I guess.
Sorry, how much damage did you say I took?
12.
My
12.
clothing just dropping off me.
Slowly.
Oh boy.
I mean, those shorts are getting shorter and shorter. Okay, is that's Ben's turn?
I'm just
Yep,
wearing hot pants now.
that'll be everything.
Then it is Jat's turn, who's just... And then he's running away. He's just using his dash and everything. Just get the F out of there. Auburn, your turn.
I'm gonna get the fuck away from this thing. Moving.
Oh, I actually guess
Yeah, it does get a
attack of opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you were lucky, Neza, that I forgot that about you. Where is it? It's here. Attack 21.
That actually hits me.
48 damage.
48 damage!
48?
I am down. I don't leave.
And you see as Auburn is trying to run away from this thing that it... I don't even know how they attack, but, you know, a goo is just slapping him really hard. And and Auburn falls to the ground. And as that happens, he also shifts. So he shifts back to his normal Auburn size.
So
And
I just
off.
I drop on the floor and my and my antlers just go click 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 click.
Yeah. All right, Alim.
Okay, this doesn't seem great. I'm gonna move to here. I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality in this circle. It radiates from me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll be able to move the circle very well, but no, it doesn't move it, but fine, we'll figure that one out. And then I use my bonus action to use the aura on Auburn, who just went down. Great, it's 4, but you're back up on your feet still.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna move backwards ever so slightly. I can't move this silly thing to be with me. Just so there's a pathway for people to move should they want to.
Does this
And that'll
give
be
us
me.
anything?
No, it's just I can heal if you're in the aura. I can use my bonus action to heal you,
Okay,
and it doesn't cost a spell slot, so it's good for me just to do like extra healing.
perfect.
Yes.
There we go. Moved it for you.
Thank you.
All right, Auburn, you got 4 health points. Alim, that's your turn.
That's me, yeah.
Yeah. So that makes it the Gelatinous Cube's turn. It rolled a -3 in initiative, just in case you wanted to know.
-3.
But it is now like dinner, so it's starting to move forward. So Auburn,
No.
I get to do a save or something, right?
DC 12 Dexterity saving throw.
Good. I'm good at those. Yeah, 24.
Yeah, so you just see Auburn is starting to crawl backwards.
I'm just like I'm just scrabbling. Away from it.
So you can. Oops. So I guess you crawl up here next to Benjamin, and it is crawling forward and taking a swing at the Benjamin.
No.
Yes.
No.
Um,
Question.
Yeah.
So as I saved Auburn on the previous turn, I obviously would have dropped my torch. Would that have been swallowed up by the cube as well?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it
Fine.
take fire damage from the inside out?
I guess that there's no air in there, so it will just go out.
Damn. Okay. Let's try. Okay. What road do you need me to do?
I'll try and attack you. Or not me personally, but the cube will try and attack you. I don't think an 11 hits though. So
No, that's fine. I'm happy.
okay. And then it's back to Strix.
Get back here.
I mean, you can see.
Yeah, okay, so things are not going well. Yeah. Strix is gonna reach into his feathers with one of his claws, and he's gonna pull out a golden gilded skull, which he'll place on the floor, like just sort of bury very shallowly in the dirt, and then from the ground will rise. If I can drag this in, my super zombie. I cannot. Can you give me a super zombie, please?
Oh, super zombie. Sure.
I'm casting summon undead at the 4th level.
Okay.
You're casting summon undead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because
As this happens, then are you and so is this like, how does this work?
so it lasts for as long as I can hold concentration on it, I think, or
Yeah, but is it
up to
so
an
it's
hour.
something you animate or have animated, or how does it exactly work?
so I think it grows out of the skull that I carry around.
Okay.
And yeah, it takes its turn straight after me.
Benjamin, you just hear a voice in the room saying, that's like an interesting power. Yes, I do.
I stay quiet because I'm still focused on Auburn.
Okay, Strix, what are you doing? So you summon this. And
I've summoned that guy. That's my action. Do I want it to get involved? Yeah. No, actually, I think it's gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a couple of. Oh no, hold on. I've got the zombie selected. I'm gonna give it a couple of magic stones to throw on its turn, as well as using my bonus action.
Okay. So now it's the zombie's turn.
Now it's the zombie's turn. It's
Okay.
gonna multi-attack with its magic stones.
Yeah, that hits.
For 8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that also hits. Jesus. 22 and a 25. Hits, yes.
Nice.
for 6 damage.
So 8
And it is then gonna. Yeah, it's gonna get involved. It's gonna move on up in there.
Okay. And that's its turn?
That's its turn.
Okay, Neza, your turn.
Okay,
Benjamin
so
on deck.
going back to the conversation with Frayne.
Mm-hmm.
I know, in theory, that these gelatinous cubes can hold magic.
Mm-hmm.
Do they need to be alive?
That's the thing, Frayne, because it was such a short conversation that you had about it. So I don't think you would know, but you did say that you would have to electrocute it. So you do a quick deduction, and you'll probably don't need to be alive.
Okay, great. Okay. So if I pull Auburn away,
Mm-hmm.
the cube has an opportunity attack on Auburn?
No, because it's being moved again. Well,
Against
it's
his
not
will.
his. It's not his movement. So you would be able to do that, yeah.
Okay, I would like to pull Auburn 20 feet back.
I guess I have to ask you then. Do you allow that to happen, Auburn?
Yes.
All right, then you pull him 20 feet back. So you would have to move first. So you would have to move 10 feet on your own, and then you use 20 to pull him over here. Like that. Yeah?
Oh, I did math badly then.
So you have used 30 feet because you needed to move past the owlbear as well
Mhm.
to grab him.
So I'm now... No, okay, maybe that was too far to pull him back.
Okay.
Because I wanted to take his place.
Okay. So I will say you can pull him to here, and then you can move in.
Perfect.
I'll allow that.
Okay. And I will hit this thing with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say shove me out the way. I was like, wait, what?
No. You're okay. And that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Mm-hmm. And 7 damage.
Oh wait, you can only attack with your bonus action because you used your action to pull Auburn, right? That's that counts as an action, doesn't it?
Oh, right.
Pull
Okay,
someone.
then I'll just... Oh, well, I don't want to punch it because it's acid. So that's
I
unfortunate.
mean, you can. Oh yeah, because it. Yeah, actually, I don't know. It's unarmed. I mean, you're just sticking it into it. You're just punching it. I actually don't know if you would take damage from that.
If I don't take damage, then I will attack. If I do take damage, then
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you would. Just
I wouldn't?
Because, yeah. No.
Okay. Then I will punch it, and that will be for 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. All right, Benjamin, you're up.
Hi.
You want to
Yeah, me and Otis, dream team. I think I'm gonna tell Otis just to stay by Auburn and like be ready to pull him back further if he needs it, or to attempt. Sorry.
So you were going to what?
I'm gonna tell Otis to stay by Auburn.
Yeah.
Just in case you can try and pull him back. I'm not sure if it will work or not.
Mhm.
And I'm.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I know your character sheet. So.
Yeah. Question.
Mhm.
Very quickly. There is something in here, which is you take in response being damaged. Is that on your turn, or can I just say in any sort of combat? Because it's technically a reaction.
If it's a reaction, then it's a reaction to something. Then you cannot. So,
Okay.
So if it's a reaction to taking damage, then it is when it is attacking you.
Okay, perfect. So not in that turn. Okay, fine. In which case, I am very conscious that Auburn's hurt, so I am literally just going to be trying to defend this, and I'm going to attack it with my hand axe because it's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Does a 9 hit?
It does.
Oh, it does. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
6 damage.
6 damage.
Slashing damage, if that helps.
It's fine.
Is it not like separate into 2? No, actually, that's a really bad idea. Let's not do that.
Sure, if you want more of them.
No.
All right, then it is chat. Okay. Auburn, your turn. Unleam, you're on deck.
I assume Jat's still just like sprinting away.
You don't know anymore. He's out of view from you. So.
Fair enough.
But you can hear footsteps getting slower. Or lower. Not slower, lower.
I move further back.
Mm-hmm.
Shaking, crying, just looking completely awful, like sizzling from acid. But I do take out my bow, and I shoot it twice.
Okay.
Now, if it has any resistance to damage, my arrows count as magical now.
It doesn't.
All right. I'm going to do the first one, sharpshooter.
Okay.
That is 17 to hit.
That hits.
That hits.
Yeah.
Alright. It takes 20 piercing damage.
20. Mm-hmm.
I am also going to sharpshooter the next one.
Okay.
It's a crit.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Auburn
Good.
making crits outside of aggro mode? What is this?
Wow, he's like disintegrating.
I'll re-roll that one. That was a 2. Still a 2, and then one more die. Ugh, that's a 3. That's so bad. So that's another 20 damage.
It's so bad. 20 damage.
Then I'll action search.
Okay.
Damn.
The rest of you go take a pee break. Auburn is having a turn.
I didn't say sharpshooter on this one, so it's going to be a 16 to hit.
To hit, yeah. Hits. It's a huge blob. It's very difficult to miss.
It's
Yes,
6 piercing damage.
6 piercing damage, yeah.
I'll sharpshooter for the last one.
Okay.
I have 4 actions.
I have 4 attacks if I action search. That's going to be 10 to hit.
Hits.
And that's 18 piercing damage.
18. As that arrow hits, you can see that you sort of like hits it on the edge, and the velocity of the arrow just makes a chunk fall off of the cube. So you can see that it's starting to not. I mean, how does a blob look like when it looks hurt? But at least pieces of you shot a piece off of it. Let's just put it that way. So, okay.
Then I lean against the wall and I just crumble to the floor.
Aleem, your turn.
Hi. Just to backtrack ever so slightly as well, when I healed you last time, you need to take an extra 5 healing from that. Because as a life cleric, if I heal you with a spell, you also get healed for 2 plus the spell's level.
True that.
And I keep forgetting about it. I will take a step back to the crumpled Auburn on the floor. And I shall cast Cure Wounds at 4th level. Do for 29. So
Nice.
that's
Ooh.
35 healing altogether.
Nice. Thank you.
And then I also use my bonus action to activate my aura to heal you again for 9.
So now you have enough health to jump into it again, Auburn.
Don't do it.
Woo! I'm going in.
And then I kind of rest a hand on your shoulder and ask if you're okay.
I don't answer. I just
That's
stare straight out into the void.
Okay. And that's my turn.
All right. So,
So I guess now's a good time to point out that Strix's zombie absolutely stinks. And is the gelatinous cube immune to the poison condition?
nope.
Okay, it needs to make a Constitution saving throw at the start of its turn.
Well, no problem. Oops, wrong button. Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
How's the 16 for you?
That's a fail. It's poisoned.
Okay. So it has disadvantage on attacks, right?
I think so. The main reason I want to do that is my zombie gets bonuses when it attacks as well.
These icons are so tiny. There we go, poisoned. Okay. So it is going to move forward again. So Ben and Neza, you need to do a dexterity saving throw for me.
Unnatural
21.
20.
So it's moving forward, but you can see it's moving, so you're just moving backwards with it. So it's going to try and push you down here. Actually, that was only 10, so I'll just move Otis. So over there. Boop. And then it's going to make an attack at Nessa this time. Maybe, if I can find it. Oh, it's because I also have the nothing inside of it selected. So attack roll at disadvantage. Whoa, what? Okay, 27 to hit.
What?
It rolled a 19 and an 18, so yeah.
Yeah.
That hits, obviously.
Okay, you take 48 damage.
I am down.
You are shitting me.
Why
Wait,
are you down?
is it a melee attack roll?
It is.
I have a reaction. And,
Okay.
it is called Tipsy Sway.
Okay.
And it says when a creature... Oh, no, that's not going to work. No, I'm down. There's nothing I can do.
I'm getting up. It's just kicked by this thing.
So you're down? Why are you down? I don't understand. Did I not keep up with your health? Because according to me, you have 56 health left.
Yeah, but then I tried to rescue Auburn and I took 12 damage.
That is right. Okay, then you see that Nessa is now going down as well. And with that, it is Strix's turn. No, wait. Yeah, Strix's turn.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Time for a wither and bloom, I think. I'm gonna suck a whole bunch of life energy out of.
Okay. I have one quick question first.
Yeah?
Nessa, you're still mind linked with Jat.
Yep.
How far away does it work?
It is 80 feet. But also when I am unconscious, it severs.
You're unconscious. Well, never mind then. Go on, Strix. Do whatever you were going to do.
Okay, so a bunch of, bright white light is going to flow out of the gelatinous cube and into Nessa. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw again.
Constitution. Oh, it was good for that, at that, wasn't it?
Mm.
So how does a huge 9 do?
That is a fail. It takes 8 necrotic damage, and Nessa, you can spend a hit dice
Yay.
with a +5. And then, wait, where is my
So is
zombie
the
gone?
+5 on top of my modifier already? Yeah.
Yeah, your hit die. Your hit die.
I do 1d8 +2, so is it +7 then?
Is it also with the modifier on the hit die?
I think last time we said it was. Okay.
What did we say?
No, that's only when it's a short rest.
Yeah, right. So it's just the hit
Just
die.
the die +5?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I am up with 7 health.
7 health. So for a moment you just blank and then you sort of wake up again. So you're back at 7 health.
And then I guess that I'll move back a little bit on Strix's turn. But where's my zombie gone?
He's up there. He's still there. There's just so many circles by now. I'll get rid of some of the. Yeah, but he's up there.
I can't seem to.
What you just want to move him down?
Yeah, can you just pull him down? He's very not happy that he's being.
I mean, he's right behind.
His,
he's right behind it now.
cute.
So.
I think it's just because he's out of my line.
Oh,
of sight,
actually,
so I can't
technically, let's rewind time really quickly because I forgot that he was up there as well. So you actually get an opportunity attack for your zombie when the gelatinous cube moved out of the way.
Okay, he will use a rotting claw attack, but I can't select him. Let me pull up his that one.
You can't?
It's fine. I can do it from here.
Okay. Is it the circle that is in the way?
That is a 17
to hit. That hits.
Yeah. So it needs to make another con saving throw.
Okay.
It takes 13 damage.
It's a 22.
Okay. It's not paralyzed yet.
So 13 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
back to my zombie circle.
And now we're
then it's
it's
going to be very upset that it was ignored and follow and make and multi-attack.
Okay.
For a nat 1.
Nat 1, it hits the wall.
And a nat 20.
Wow.
That's 21 damage, and it needs to make another con save.
Ooh.
Okay. Con save. 12.
It is paralyzed.
What does that mean?
Can they be paralyzed?
I actually don't
If it's immune to being paralyzed, then it's not paralyzed.
Yes, it can actually be paralyzed.
Nice.
So
I believe it's advantage to attacks against it. Not that seems to matter that much with this.
So when it's paralyzed, can it do anything?
No.
So how long is it for?
Ooh, good question. Until the end of its next turn.
Okay. Okay. In that case, Nessa, you're up.
Okay.
If you're done, sorry, you're done, right, Strix?
Yeah. Strix is done.
Okay, I am going to attack it with my quarterstaff first.
Do it. Yeah. 15.
15. 15
15 Yeah, you want to roll. You have an advantage on it now as well. So
Do I?
Actually, it's just a crit.
is it just a crit?
Yeah, if you melee attack paralyzed creatures, it's just a crit.
Okay, then you crit.
Oh, okay. Cool. Hang on, let me get the right dice. 9 damage.
9 with a crit.
Yeah. I rolled
What did
very
you
low.
roll? Okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it takes 9 damage. Yeah.
Then I will do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Same again, so I critted it again. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. That's a little better. That's a 14.
14. Yeah. You're chopping pieces of it all naturally with your staff right now.
Excellent. Question: Paralyzed, it can't move.
Yep.
And how
Correct.
long does that last for? Like, if I don't move?
To the end of its turn.
End of its-
So basically, you have a free reign on it for the next until your next turn as well. So
Perfect. Then I am going to spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows.
Ooh.
And that is 2 unarmed strikes. And they're both just automatically crits. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You still have to roll to hit.
Oh, right, okay.
just beat a
16?
6 and you
No, 18?
beat a 6 and you hit it.
Okay.
It's
So
really
that
easy
is...
to hit.
The first one is 13.
Damage.
The 13 damage. The second one, I rolled a 20. Do I get, like, quadruple crit damage?
Sure. Why not?
Wait, what?
Why
Okay.
not? Because it's almost dead anyway. So it's
Okay.
fine.
So 4d6?
Damage.
No, well, yeah. So I okay. 20 damage?
20 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just okay. Tell me how you chop it into pieces.
I'm just punching it. I'm pulverizing it, so there's goo going everywhere.
So Nessa was so upset of being, almost KO'd. So she's just punching it in anger, and she's punching off pieces of this one cube, and you can sort of see like it's like its sides is sort of like falling inward, sort of like it's losing whatever thing that kept this thing alive, and it stops moving. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Ben, your turn.
But this thing's just on the floor.
But we're still in initiative order, so it's your turn.
I don't know what to do. I think I just want to make sure, like, seeing all the damage it's done, I feel like I just want to make sure it's still dead, so I'm just gonna like hand axe.
Yeah, sure. You cut more pieces of it.
Yeah, cool. That's my turn.
Okay.
Do I need to roll for that?
No.
Cool.
I mean, if you cannot hit a dead creature, then shame on you. Okay, so what is he doing? He is it's Jet's turn, so he is.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Jet.
Okay. You hear a sort of scream coming from back there, and then it just goes quiet.
Fuck.
Auburn, your turn.
We all heard the scream?
I would think so. It's a tunnel. Sound travels, so
I'm scrabbling over here. Just pressing myself against the wall.
Okay.
Still sitting down, just, full panic mode.
okay. Then it is. If that's your turn, then it's Aline.
I am going to use my bonus action to once again heal Neza. That's 12, 13 hit points.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. Wait, what am I? I am okay. That makes sense. I'm gonna double move. 35, 45, 50, 55, 60. Gonna go here.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the dead body
Oh
of
God!
Jack, and you can see that there's another cube down there.
Yeah.
Now that you know what to look for.
Can I yell back and let everyone know?
Sure.
You hear Arlene's voice through the cave. Just yells, "There's another one!"
Sake.
And then it's the cube's turn, and you see how it's moving forward, and it's enveloping poor Jad. And now Jad is inside of it, and it's moving forward with him inside up towards you, and that's its turn. It doesn't move that fast. So Strix, you're up. Nessa on deck.
Yeah, I'm just checking the move speed of my zombie. Where does it say that? 30 foot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Strix will say to everybody, you might want to stand out of the way, not get too close to Gold over there. And then if I go, yeah, I can see him now. Jesus. 1, 2. He's gonna try and come through in a way, and then if you don't mind, I'll take Strix and the zombie's turn at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of because they're just gonna move. I think they'll double move. But Strix will get ahead if he can. I could probably get to. Oop. Yeah, okay. So Strix can get line of sight on him. The zombie won't be able to get as far. And I think Strix will actually just sort of stop. How does Jat look?
He looks very dead.
But like he's taking death saves, and I could maybe wither and bloom.
I mean, let's see. He was there when he tried to run away and got hit and killed or unconscious, and then scooped up. So sure, I would say that he would roll death saves.
Okay, I will quickly cast Wither and Bloom again. To try and heal, to allow Jat to spend a hit dice. And our new cube friend needs to make a con saving throw.
Natural 1. So a 6.
That's 10 necrotic damage.
So, okay. So, Chad was hit and knocked unconscious by this creature, and now he's waking up inside of it for, acid pain is what he's waking up to. Why? But plus 10. Oops, plus 10, not minus 10. Plus 10, he has 10 health left. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
Okay. Nessa, Ben on deck.
I am going to run over. Here, closer. And I'm still feeling pretty hurt, so I'm not going to approach it.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go behind Arlene a wee bit.
Okay. That's it.
Yep, that's me.
Ben.
I will move first. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there unless it's a double move, though. Can I ask Master if he can help Jet?
Why would I help that helpless creature who got himself into this mess himself?
Because you're our friend. And he's our friend too.
Do a persuasion check.
Nope. That'd be a 7 for our audio listeners.
Yeah, 7. I'll think about it.
Okay, thanks. And then I'm gonna guess me asking that would probably be my action, right?
It happens in your head, so I wouldn't say that's an action.
Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go much further though. Hang on, let me just double check. Yeah, that's basically what I can do. I'm gonna very quickly suggest to the party, why don't we just leave the cube? Seeing as it almost killed Auburn and Nessa. And then depending on the response, that'll be my turn.
That's your suggestion. Okay, Jet's turn. He is desperately trying to get out of there. So let's see if he makes it out. Oh, actually, he's very frantic and just pops out on the other side of it. And then he is just going to try and make a run for it. So, attack of opportunity. That hits. And Jet is down once again.
Poor Jet.
What's his total health? Okay, he's not dead. He's just unconscious again. And then it is Auburn. Alim on deck.
What am I gonna do? I can't really do much. Too far away. But I'm just going to sidle along the wall and use until I get to where Benjamin is.
Okay. And that's it?
Yeah.
Alim.
So in the nicest way possible, if I try and bring up Jat, he's immediately going to get consumed by the cube the second it starts moving. So I'm going to use my bonus action to heal Neza again. That's 14.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to use my Sacred Flame cantrip to try and attack the cube.
Okay.
So that is this. It needs to make a DC 13 dexterity save.
15.
Oh, for fuck's sake. In which case, I will take a few steps back next to Neza.
I mean, it did roll a 19. It has -4, but it rolled really, really high.
Every time I try to make damage, everything goes, you know what? Fuck you, Arlene.
Just a support class, apparently.
So, yeah, I'm just going to turn into a heal dummy. I'm okay with that. That's my turn.
Okay, so Jet is being scooped up once more.
Yeah, I assume that might happen.
As it is moving forward.
Could you put the aura on me?
Yeah.
Can I move that myself, or
Yes, if you go down to the measurement controls, then you should be able to just move it. Anyway,
that
Strix, your turn, Nessa.
okay.
Yeah, okay. There's not much Strix can do here. He's, I guess he's gonna try and, as Jat is down, Strix is gonna try and animate an arm of Jat's to just sort of claw at the cube from the inside.
Okay.
For a Toll the Dead.
Yeah.
Needs to make a wisdom save.
Who needs to do that?
The cube.
The cube. Okay. Wisdom save. 7.
Okay. Wait. No, it's that one. That is 16 damage.
Yeah. You take 16 damage.
And then it is Super Zombie's turn.
Super Zombie.
Who's gonna? Can it get past, or can it only just get up to it?
What's its speed?
30. Oh, it can get up to it. And now it's moved up. I thought it was going to need to double move, but it can get up to it with
Get up to it. Yeah.
and double attack. Yeah, he's gonna do that.
Do it. Yeah.
Right. So, 2 rotting claw attacks.
Beat a 6 and you're golden. Mhm.
12 for 17 damage.
Yeah.
And a nat 1.
he hits the wall again.
You appear to be all or nothing today.
Does it need to do a saving throw?
At the start of its turn, if it's within 5 feet.
But the rotting claw attack has a saving throw component to it, doesn't it?
So it has to be
If the
poisoned,
target's
and
poisoned,
then that might get
right.
upgraded to paralyzed if it's
Gotcha.
already poisoned.
I just need to learn to read, so that's
It's complicated. It's okay.
Words. Who needs them? Okay, Nessa, your turn. Ben on deck.
Okay, I am running up to it and attacking with my quarterstaff for 16.
Yeah, it's
7 damage.
yeah.
And I do it again for dirty 20.
Also hits.
And that is 10 damage.
Mhm.
And then I am spending a key point to what is it called? Step of the Wind and disengage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move back this many feet. What is that?
Okay.
No, more than that. That many feet.
Okay. Perfect. Ben, your turn.
Okay. OS is going to stay still. I am going to see if I can... Can I squeeze, like, there? Yeah. Perfect. And... Okay, so as I'm
You
round...
can get even closer if you want to.
No.
Okay.
As I'm rounding this corner, I'm looking like... I'm feeling quite overwhelmed by everything that's just happened.
Mhm.
I point at the cube, and the cube needs to make a Wisdom DC 14 save for me.
Wisdom. It's not that wise. How does a 3 sound to you?
That sounds wonderful. So it's gonna take. Oh, and this is taking damage already, correct?
It has taken damage, yeah.
Perfect. Where it gets to take 2d12 necrotic damage because I cast Toll the Dead on it.
Right.
I'm
So
gonna Strix's creepy spells.
no.
He's been learning from the best, apparently.
It was more of like a I don't like it sort of thing. Oh wait. Wait, why did that do that? Should I just roll 2d12 instead?
What does it actually say?
If the target is missing any of its hit points.
Yeah, if this is just how
Yeah.
the spell's naturally loaded into Foundry, it's kind of jank. I had to.
Okay.
Okay,
I had
I'll
to
just
do
write.
customization to it.
Yeah, roll 2d12s then.
Perfect.
Yeah, so 14
That's
damage.
bad. Yeah, that's necrotic damage.
And as you do that, you see how, again, pieces of it is flying off of it. Because it's starting to look hurt.
And I very quickly look at my hands and feeling slightly powerful.
It's good to see you're learning. Okay. Jet is taking damage since he's starting inside of it, so I guess he will have to roll. He will fail too, straight up, right? When he takes damage.
Well, it depends on how he takes damage. If it's a melee attack within melee, it's two
Okay.
failed ones. If it just takes damage, it's one.
Okay, so then he takes automatically one fail. Where is... Oh, it's just a d20, isn't it? I'll just roll a d20. So, and he succeeds one. So he has one fail and one succeeded. Auburn, your turn. Alim on deck.
Okay, I stagger up into this part,
Mm-hmm. You can see it
And-
from there.
and I shoot it. Sharpshooter. Twice.
Yeah.
I don't land on the floor. I roll another one. 10.
Hits.
Ooh, that's going to be 23 damage.
Nice.
You shoot
Damn.
off another piece of it.
And 23 to hit.
Yeah, little hits a little bit.
And that is 21 damage.
Another few pieces are flying off.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's my turn.
okay, Alim, your turn.
I am going to use my bonus action to heal Benjamin of his acid hands. So that's 13.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to try and throw another sacred flame at it as best
Do
I
it.
can.
Yeah.
DC 13 dexterity.
It fails.
Yay!
Yay!
Let's see if I do 2 damage. 12! Oh my goodness, I did stuff. There you go, 12 radiant damage.
Explain to me how it looks like as it dies.
Arlene killed something!
Oh,
Holy crap!
so as I cast the flame, I assume from my hand into it, you'll see as the chunks have been flying off, the flame kind of like goes around the sections that hasn't been and sinks in and blows it up from the inside.
It explodes. Bits and pieces of goo.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I then
everywhere.
cover myself. I cover my.
Let me quickly see. Does an 11 hit you?
No, just.
Then you're not being hit by any pieces. You managed to shield yourself off. And with that, we are out of combat.
Since combat has just officially ended,
Hmm.
how much time was that combat overall?
Oh,
I think it was like 4 turns, right?
4 or 5 turns. I closed down the encounter window, so I don't really remember anymore.
If we say 5 turns, does that
Mhm.
mean if we say that I've got like 20 seconds of my aura left, can I get out a couple of spells, a couple of healing?
yeah,
before?
sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll heal Jat because Jat is down at the moment. So that's 15 health for
Okay.
Jat.
Yep.
Who's worse for wear at the moment? I think it's Neza, technically. I
I'm
think
at
you probably got
half
the
health.
lowest. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I'll
do
hit
Neza.
you with another one as well.
I'm
That's
just
15
above
for you as well.
half.
Thank you very much. I'm much less sore. Considerably.
Right. So you are
And then my
now-
aura dissipates and goes away.
combat is over. You have 2 dead gelatinous cubes. We have some banged up people. We have a very banged up Jat, and we have an Auburn that has not only just come out of his his shifted form, he also prolonged it beyond what is normally doable. So,
For practically hours.
yeah. So, how is everyone doing?
Yeah.
So Strix is sat on gold, and he's keeping his distance from everybody else, because if people get too close to gold, that's not going to be good for them. He stinks, and
Oh no, he's right
Nothing.
next to Jad. Jad is unconscious again.
So I am sorry for everyone, because this is not what Amanda wants to do. Neza says, we need to collect these cubes, these gelatinous cubes, and take them back to camp so that I can study them.
Does that seem like such a good idea?
It is an excellent
Really?
idea. Yes.
Why?
Science. For science.
What science?
It'll take too long to explain. They're short version, potentially magical conduits.
These cubes?
Yes.
Conduits
Untested.
for...
Untested, unverified, but I think I can do it.
What's a conduit?
Okay. Essentially something that carries something else. It can carry energy.
Ooh. Oh.
I'm just wondering what you're going to use the conduits for.
To fill them with magic.
But if it doesn't work, you're wasting the magic that we have.
But if it does work, it will be very good. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Arlene will slant the mirror on his belt and take a glance at it, Marty, and see if there's any guidance there.
Ooh.
Is there light in here?
I mean, sure, you can create light. So
Okay, I was going to say, because if there's no light, there's no reflection, but still.
I assume I still have light because I can't see otherwise.
Yeah.
yeah, you still have your light. So you're asking this. So are you saying anything? Or are you just expecting?
Not out, because I can only talk to it out loud, right? So nothing out loud, but I'm wondering if, because they can respond back to me silently. I'm just wondering if there's any current guidance from it.
Okay. I have to admit that it's a little bit out of my area of expertise. I mean, sure, you people are some crafty ones from time to time, so perhaps.
Okay. Okay. Sure. How do we collect this stuff?
Will you allow me to perform a quick ritual on them first, just to purify the remains and make sure they aren't interfered with by anybody we might not want interfering with them? He says, looking at Benjamin.
Would I know, Marty, any... Would that impact the, integrity of what...
That's a very good question, because Marty doesn't know what Strix wants to do either.
Gentle repose. So it prevents any decay and prevents the
Right.
target from being raised as any kind of undead.
Okay. I mean, you didn't tell her what to do, so Nessa has no idea what that means. But she knows that there's two here, so if it's not everything, then she has different stuff to test with.
Okay. One of the two of them. That way, one retains all of its structural integrity, and the other one, I mean, we can start with that one and see if it works, and then you can do the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
Strix will pull out his pouch of salt and sort of hover above it and start sprinkling salt all over it, and then he'll grab some weird like green looking metal coins and start like placing them at various different points on it, and then he starts chanting and doing different hand movements. The whole thing takes about 20 minutes.
And in the meantime, Benjamin, you do hear the voice being like, "This owl creature, he's so interesting. It's impressive what he can do."
More impressive than me?
Do you really want the answer to that?
Yes?
Then yes.
Oh. So why'd you choose me? Why'd you want me to be your friend?
You seem like you wanted to learn, and you wanted to be friends, and you wanted to help everyone.
Yeah, that was true. I mean, it was really cool when I started doing stuff with my necrotic damage with my fingers. That was cool.
See?
Yeah, I guess so. But don't interfere. You don't need to like watch any of the thing the owl's doing. Strix
I
doing.
do need to watch.
No, let's go over this way. And I like gestured towards like the way that we were going.
But he's just standing and watching Strix. He's not moving.
Come on. No, okay. And then I'm stood next to him watching because I'm just like, this could be handy. I have no idea what's going on, obviously, but I'm sorry.
All right, you finish the ritual on one of the bodies.
I will pick up a claw full of goop and fly over to Neza and just sort of, does it look alright to you?
Maybe. It looks like goo. I don't have my equipment to really test
so
these
you
things.
you don't want me to do that other one like now or soon then?
No, like when we get back to camp.
If we end up having to kill it again, that's on you.
Noted.
I'm writing notes.
Why do you talk, Strix?
It's in character talking. Strix doesn't know Marty's so mean.
I know.
DM is always listening.
But yeah, he'll fly back and just be with Gold.
I wonder
Wait
if
for
these
everybody
beings can be resurrected. No, sorry.
No.
Stop it, Water. Stop it.
Can we put them somewhere? Some spare hole? Bag of holding?
Chuck him in the hole. That's kind of gross enough already.
Perfect. Let's do that. We're
Room
gonna...
for that. There are like 20 dead bodies in there too.
Yeah, I can say there's now
and 4 mag cans.
now a bunch of slimy corpses in there with all the mag cans.
It smells great in here, you know. It smells really, really good. Anybody have an air freshener?
How's Auburn feeling?
Auburn is silent. He's sitting near the wall. Not doing anything. Not saying anything.
I awkwardly go and sit next to him. I don't say anything. I just sit next to him.
I let you sit there, but I don't talk. I don't even look at you.
I don't want to look at you either. No, I am looking at you, but I'm not talking.
Also, I look completely like shit. I have practically no clothes left. top up my armor. Is that at least okay?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to making that jump into the gelatinous cube or TikTok.
Oh god. So you need to get back to base and use these cubes? Or do we keep on going?
Oh, let's keep going. Let's see where this goes.
Okay.
We've
So
got them. They'll still be there when we get back to camp, and then I can, play with them.
Cool. Because I'm like 98% sure the river's this way.
Okay.
Which way is that? Continuing down the tunnel you are currently in?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
I thought you were going to make me do like a survival check to remember which way I came from. I was like,
No. You move through this tunnel and actually you do the roll for me. Roll a d20 or something like that. On an even number, it's a dead end. On an odd number, even number, dead end, odd number, it's an exit.
that'd be a 6. Dead end.
So you run into a dead end.
So, who wants the good news and the bad news?
Go ahead.
Good news, no more cubes. Well, good news to most people, apart from you, Neza. Bad news, I may have a tiny misguess that the river was this way. It might be the other way.
We can see that.
Well, no, you can't see that way. Just trust me.
Did we not go with you?
Did they go with me?
Yeah, you're all traveling in the same direction.
In which case, good news. There's no more chance cubes. Bad news. Let's go the other way.
Okay.
Marty, on the way back, Auburn briefly stops at one of the remains of the cubes, and he shoves, just quietly shoves some in his quiver of Elona. It has extra dimensional compartments. It can have a bit, not much, but a bit.
Good, that's fine. And you walk back through the tunnel, and you find that intersection where you took the right turn, and you now take the other turn instead. And as you're walking through it, you can feel the breeze getting, or the wind getting. You can feel it more and more. And after some time walking through, eventually you get out into the open, and you see the plains of grass, and in the distance you can see a river.
Found it.
You did a terrible job finding this, Benjamin. You know
But
that,
I found
right?
it. I found it. Look, I just saved Auburn for the cube. Give me some break, okay? I'm a boy.
I'm just saying. You're really gonna have to work on your, decision-making skills.
Yes, Neza.
Okay.
I just start walking towards the river.
What do we see here?
It looks, it's like a grassy area. There's, the forest behind you, basically. And there's the river in front of you. And if you look up and down the river, it looks like sort of familiar. And you realize that you're probably not super far away from your camp, actually, if you go north.
What does the entrance to the cave look like? The exit to the cave?
I mean, it's a cave entrance into on a small cliffside. There's like trees and bushes in front of it, so you don't really see it if you walk out and look from the outside. So it's sort of hidden.
Okay.
And now that you're out, we can also just have some little less suspenseful music. The Nothic is there, but I don't know if you have established the mind link again.
I do.
See? River.
It's a river.
Dangerous place behind us.
It was a dangerous place, but I don't think it's dangerous anymore.
Maybe you're right.
Looks like it was those cubes that were causing the damage and the danger.
They hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Now you're going to take me to Master?
Yeah.
Strix gives Arlim a little
soon?
glance.
Soon. Then to everybody else, I'm like, so what next?
I'm still not entirely sure why we came through the cave. I'm glad that everyone else has the resonating feeling too. Brilliant. We had the promise of a river and the promise of a river.
There's a river right in front of you.
It's been delivered.
Oh, I'm glad. I just don't know why we're here.
I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I was hoping we might find some more mag cans or other of our stuff in the cave complex, as you know.
I was hoping we would find the source of corruption. Also, I was absolutely, I thought we were going to find an underground river, and that sounded really cool.
I think that's what I was thinking as well.
I think that was everyone was thinking, and I caught that quite early on. I was like, yeah, they're going to be a little bit disappointed.
Okay. Okay.
Marty, is it the same river that runs by our camp?
I mean, you don't know for sure, but you have a feeling that it is. You, as you know, because you had that feed, right? Or not feed.
Outlander, yeah. It's not
Outlander.
Right now.
So sure, you haven't been here, here specifically before, but when you look around and you figure out what north and south and east and west and stuff like that, you have a feeling the forest is right behind you. That if you go north, that's most likely going straight back to your camp.
Auburn just starts walking along the river.
Okay.
I wonder...
Like with purpose or just wandering?
With purpose.
Okay.
Where are you going, Auburn?
I don't answer. I'm I'm not even walking super straight. I'm limping and looking really worse for wear.
I looked at Arlim, Benjamin, and Strix. I'm like, does somebody want to talk to him?
I'm not there. I already walked down to the river. I left.
Oh, you're going as well? Okay, then I look at him.
I didn't follow I didn't follow Auburn. I said as soon as I got out, after I said yes, I just walked down the hill to the river. So I'm not there, but you carry on.
Okay. Arlim, you want to, or Strix, you want to, talk to Auburn?
I can try.
I mean, for my part, I don't think it's the worst idea to just check back in at camp. At the very least, Auburn could do with some clothes.
I would agree.
Oh, I'm
with
just
that.
picturing no ass in.
Oh, what lovely assless
I
chat.
don't know. I'm enjoying the view.
Somebody back at camp might enjoy the view too.
Oh god.
I now have
Love's
the
in the
picture
air.
in my head that you've dissolved your clothes into like perfect assless chaps.
Yes.
And now I feel like I can't talk to Auburn.
Nobody talk to Auburn, please. It's hard enough.
So Auburn, how's your ass? Day, how's your day?
Great.
Marty's broken.
Stuff like that, but I'm drinking water. Time code 3 hours and 16 minutes.
Oh dear. Anyway, moving on from Auburn's ass. I will go and try and have a conversation with Auburn.
Okay.
I kind of have a half jog and catch up. And I'm like, hey, Auburn, are you okay?
I see. No.
Do you want to talk about it?
No. I want to go home.
Okay. Now, I'm going to respectfully, since you said no, not continue. However, I don't want you to think that that means I don't want, you can't talk to me. If it's something you need to talk about, please know that I'm here, okay?
I stopped for half a moment and nod. And then I keep going.
Okay. I'm just going to silently walk next to you, okay?
I nod again. I walk a little easier with you next to me.
Cool.
Everyone is walking north to following the river.
I guess so.
I'm very far behind, though.
You keep walking and you follow the river, and this part of the camp, or this side of the camp, is in an area you haven't really explored too much, so it's not really, there's nothing that, looks super familiar to you, but after probably like an hour or 1.5 hours of walking, you actually do notice that, sure, it looks like there is something coming up ahead that could be your camp.
While we're walking, I think I would have a conversation with Strix about the theory behind the gelatinous cubes.
Okay.
Yeah, so do you think they can be used to store elemental charges, or just sort of raw magical power?
And Marty is going to respond as Neza.
Okay. I think when it comes to it, the possibilities are endless. It could be your kind of magic. It could be healing magic. We could make if we make multiple, we could make all kinds of magic.
Also, you could use it to manufacture things like potions. Is that how potions are made? Can we set up some healing potions? I've got some alchemical supplies back at the camp.
Now you're just being silly, technology, healing potions, that's not how it works. You would need someone to brew them.
I see. Oh, well, still, various different kinds of potions could be very useful, even just elemental potions or...
Why are we talking about potions? We have the possibilities to make endless power.
What are you planning to do with the slime? What are you planning to do with the slime? Is it just like some kind of amplifier? Do we get more power out than we put into it?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe. we would obviously have to test. We would have to try it out. But Frayne had this idea, and the more I think about it, it actually it makes sense that that it could work this way. And Frayne, sorry, you don't even know who Frayne is. Frayne, back from the lab. I used to work together with Frayne. Oh, actually, she was there when we left. She was the one who pressed the button and also pressed the other button to try and save her. That was anyway. She had this idea. It's this theory, and she starts to explain because I'm starting to become breathless now.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
The more breathless you become, the more accurate your impression of Neza is.
But she's starting to explain the idea that you could potentially put energy or magic into these. Like you would have to use some kind of electricity to mold the. The gelatinous cube, and then you would be able to potentially put power or magic inside of it, and you could probably even to make it easier for the wielder, like you could probably add, let's just in quotation marks call it flavors of magic into specific cubes or spheres or whatever you decide to make.
Strix passes a quick electrical current between his talons and said the electricity shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, that's perfect. That could totally work. Yeah. Regarding, and you see that she's thinking for a little moment. It's not necessarily something I know is a good idea or not, but regarding endless power, if, and she leans in as she says this, Autumn can do what he can do, and we can convince him to help us. We could imbue them with, some of his power as well, and maybe in that way the orbs would both pull magic into itself, but also give the wielder the possibility to use magic.
So like a spellstone.
A very large, self-contained, self-sufficient, is that the word? Self-sustaining spellstone. Yes.
Fascinating. Not sure I'm gonna like what the go with is for getting Warden to help us, but worth a shot, I suppose. Sort of staring at Benjamin for a little moment as we're walking along.
Yeah, so Strix's head just turns 180 degrees and just back at Benjamin.
You can. I'm very far behind though. I'm like maybe 100 foot or so behind.
It's very intriguing. Very intriguing.
Yeah. It means that because I've only made the calculations in my head. I obviously haven't had my tablet and made all the calculations, but if my calculations, at least the ones in my head, are true, then to make 3 of these, we need to come up with a better word than large spellstones, but I think I would only need 1 mag cannon to make 3.
And that would just give someone like a whole set of magical abilities almost from scratch.
I mean, you say that you have trouble casting spells here, right? But when the Mac can is open, you don't have that problem.
Mhm.
But with the Mac can, you can only get a certain amount of magic coming out of the Mac can, and you can see as he's going through the numbers and that's how this is going on. You can only get a certain amount out, so that's why you cannot you cannot reach your full potential. But if with
Right.
the other way, there wouldn't be technically I mean, probably there is a limit, but it would be very large.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. 3's kind of an awkward number, though. Can you use that one? He points to the one that I think is still on Benjamin's back. That's kind of leaking.
Yeah, I rolled for it earlier. There's not a lot of magic coming out of it. It's almost depleted.
Have we made it to the camp yet?
No, not quite, but you're closing in. So
And that's my plan with the gelatinous cubes. Oh, that's what we're going to try to do, but I think it should work.
Only 3?
We only have 2 cubes. I think 3 is pretty ambitious.
Okay. Just let me know what you need me to do, and I'll shape things.
Great.
Strix, in your mind, you're also sort of going through that. It actually kind of makes 3 is fine. It's a good number because you could have one. You could give one to Alim. And then you're like, who would the third one go to?
You couldn't make use of one, then I take it.
Me? Oh no. Yeah, me.
Oh.
Not really. Not for like magical reasons, but like I have no spells. I just can hit harder, faster, longer. All those things.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Somewhat useful things around here.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Certainly wouldn't say no to being able to.
You do
Thanks.
know. You do know one person, because if you have to think a little bit tactically and also scientifically about this, then you would probably try and, have as many different sorts of magic as possible in these 3 ones. And, healing magic is no problem. You know who can do that. On the other end of the spectrum, we have magic of the dead, necromancy. Someone who could take care of that. But for everything else in between, elemental magic, stuff like that, you do actually know one that potentially could help with that. Who controls, or it seems, or at least, have talked about, and has some pretty cool tattoos to prove it, that he wields some kind of elemental magic.
Nessa gonna be on board with that one?
I don't know.
We'll talk about it later. After I have thought about it.
I mean, you don't need to give it to him afterwards, but he could, maybe help with infusing it with, the elemental powers. Fire, water, wind, earth. Could be useful.
Okay. We'll see.
First step is to make them.
We'll start with one.
On that.
Go from there. Make sure they actually work.
So, a few different things. As the last mag can, the one that's open, as it finally fizzles out, you all also feel the access to the magic sort of dwindles as well, and you have a feeling that whatever state you were in before this med can opened up is probably the state that you're in again. So officially, that means that Benjamin, you're level 3. Neza, you're level 4. Strix, you're level 4. Auburn, you're level 5. And Alim, you're also level 5. But you do arrive back at camp.
As soon as we get to camp, I want to find like a big tree or a big rock to go behind.
Okay. You can definitely find either.
And I want to try to... I have no more shifts left, but I want to try to force the shift, if I can.
Okay. Ooh.
If you'll allow me to.
I mean, I can definitely ask you to try and roll some... What would that be? Because now you're not trying to force it. I don't know. Maybe a constitution, just a straight up constitution. You're trying to use your body to switch with your modifier.
That is 16.
Okay. You are pulling together all your strength that you have left in your body at this point. You're quite exhausted from this day. But you're pulling all your strength together. And it takes a little bit longer than it normally does. But you do make the shift.
And I go... And then I walk back into camp, finding the others, and I go, "Hey guys, I'm sorry for being so dour. I was having a bit of a moment. I hope you didn't think I was being rude or anything. But I'm better now. Should we find me some clothes? I feel a bit of a draft."
I'm not going to say it.
Let's find some clothes for you, Auburn.
I think maybe there were some in the supplies.
Yeah, let's do that. And Auburn, from a medical point of view, I don't know that it's healthy to push yourself into this state.
Pushing, I've just shifted. It's nothing.
Uh-huh.
I do it all the time.
I know you do, but I also thought you had some limitations to it.
Well, apparently I don't. Maybe I just got better.
Do I
You
believe him?
Do I believe myself?
Well, are you trying to deceive yourself, or you're just
I'm trying
wondering
to...
if you believe yourself?
I'm definitely in denial.
Roll a deception check, followed by an insight check.
Do I do
13.
insight as well?
Sure.
13.
13.
Sorry, 13 on deception.
13 on deception.
And how about insight? Roll your own, and you ask if you believed yourself.
Oh,
so
do I believe
insight.
myself?
You asked me that, so you know.
Oh, I don't believe myself, but I'm still
Okay.
in denial.
Yeah. So
I
you don't
rolled a
truly
13.
believe it. You probably rolled a 13 as well. So you don't know Auburn that well. You have a doubt that he believes that, but you're not. But on the other hand, maybe that's the truth.
I've just been shifted for several hours before this.
Mhm. Okay.
So you're probably conflicted, but yeah. You don't really know for sure.
Let's get you covered up.
Good idea. And tomorrow we'll figure all this out. Everything is going to be all right.
That's normally my line, Auburn.
Well, I've been learning from you.
Alim doesn't say anything, but you can, if anyone happens to look at him, you can tell he's a little bit conflicted over what Auburn has done.
You do hear a voice from the mirror saying that now is probably not the time, but you definitely need a friend.
Mm-hmm.
At the supply place, I would like to find some clothing for Auburn.
Yep, easy enough to do.
Clothe yourself, please.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I should probably go behind something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And with that, Auburn switches close. How is Nessa's mind? Is she going to work on this instantly? Or is she going to
Yes, she is just basically, Auburn has closed, problem solved. She's going to solve the next problem.
Okay. In that case, before we jump into this, any of the rest of you who wants to do something before we move into Nessa's mind a little bit more?
The only thing that I'm doing is maybe outside of camp, I'm building like another shelter for me. Just I don't feel very social at the moment, so I'm just gonna about 200 feet outside the ring of camp. I'm just gonna be like setting up my own little tent. But apart from that,
In a odd change from the norm, Alim kind of separates himself from anyone and spends most of the evening scribbling in a notebook.
Okay.
Strix-
Everyone else has said something, so Strix, are you doing
Yeah, I was
anything?
gonna say Strix is probably just grabbing some supplies and eagerly heading over, hopping on his little owl legs to help Nessa.
Okay. That is not the right music.
so very menacing.
What have I
It's
done?
gonna go wrong.
Yeah, that work. Okay. So Nessa gets back to work. So she has two different kinds of cubes currently. She has one where there was performed a ritual on it, and a raw cube that is probably decomposing currently. Which one is she going to work on first?
The one that Strix did the ritual on.
All right. It takes a bit a while to get correct because you have never worked with this material before. So let's just quickly have just to see how much time you quotation mark waste. Or it's never wasted because you're learning things.
Exactly.
But that would probably be. Oh, I always get them mixed up. What would you say, wisdom or intelligence?
Wisdom?
Okay. Then do a straight up wisdom check.
That is 22.
22. Right. So you actually get, with the help from Strix and his electricity abilities, you actually kind of quickly get the hang of it. And just by playing a little bit around with this material, you quickly figure out how much electricity to use and when to mold, and sort of like how it would work with blacksmithing and heat and stuff like that, and you figure out fairly quickly how to do that with both of your minds combined, and you manage to fairly quickly make three different kinds of three shapes in total. And I say shapes because you can decide how they look like.
Oh. Can they be different shapes for different kinds of magic?
They
So
could
we
be.
can tell them apart at a
Yeah.
glance.
They could be.
And how big are they?
Probably. I mean, you could hold them in one hand like this. Even Strix could, if it's shaped correctly, could have it in his claw without any problem.
Okay, well, Strix, I guess the first question is, for your type of magic, your creepy magic, what shape is best for you to hold?
I was gonna say I'm quite used to manipulating skulls. This is, obviously a big part of necromancy, or maybe a femur, something like that.
A skull it is.
So skull is a little bit more intricate. So I feel like we need a roll for that. So I would say some kind of maybe a dexterity roll for that to see how well.
18.
18. So yeah, sure. You actually managed to make something that almost everyone can see that this is a skull. If people can't see this is a skull, then they're stupid.
Okay.
It looks like a skull to you too, Strix.
It's a skull. And I feel like healing magic would be a heart.
Oh,
Sound-
I forgot to. I come over and I dump out the goo from my quiver below that.
Thanks.
Strix
You're
starts
welcome.
rounding the slime into an anatomically correct heart.
You managed to make us. I mean, you rolled up pretty high on the other one, so a heart is definitely easier than a skull. So you can make something that resembles a heart really easily.
I mean, not if it's anatomically correct, like creepy pants over here wants to do.
I'm thinking the hard shape.
If it's Strix doing it, that's not how he's going to interpret a heart.
Aortas and valves and everything. And
Last one.
an elemental shape. What about a lightning bolt?
Makes sense.
I think that's still easier than a skull, so I would say that you can make that as well.
Great.
So you now have 3 different shapes. And you actually only spent a few hours in this. Considering that before this day started, you had no idea you'd be doing this. You've been doing really well.
I'm very good at what I do. Okay. Well,
So what's
gonna
next?
should I try to put the magic in it. Start with yours,
You could.
Sure.
or
But
is there another step that I need to do?
I feel like you should probably talk about your brilliant idea of including Wharton's magic.
Do we need to do them all at the same time? Can't we just practice with one, see how it goes?
I mean, you could, if you want to.
That was my thoughts.
Okay.
Is,
So
how do you feel about that, Strix? One at a time, or?
We're gonna bring Waterman in right now.
Well, I don't really want to. I want to see if it works first.
Okay. Good plan.
you try and so you bring out one of the mag cans, and you fill it up with magic, I guess, or at least you are preparing it to filling it up with magic while you're explaining to Strix that whatever necromancy spell you can think of, or that type of magic, you need to try and channel it into the sphere at the same time as I'm opening for the magic. So we sort of mix the two. You're crossing the streams. You're mixing the magic, and hopefully that should work. No, not hopefully. It works. It works. I know that it will.
Let's do it.
Of course. So the spell that I'm casting, that'll be stored in.
It's more like the type of magic than it is the actual spell itself. But I mean, Strix doesn't technically, he doesn't know this, but it's the type of magic that we're after. So,
But you see, most, it would not be a good thing if I were to just sort of cast a higher level necromancy spell, and for that to be successful and for those effects to actually take place here in the middle of the camp.
Rather than like actually casting a spell, can you just like push the essence of your magic into the cube? Well, into the gelatinous skull.
Sure. Yeah. I'll do my best.
I believe in you. I've seen what you can do. You can absolutely do this.
do an Arcana roll for me, please, Strix.
Okie dokie. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You focus your mind, and as Neza is opening the mag can, you can feel that you can both draw from it and cast your own magic at the same time, and you try and do your best to focus on the essence of necromancy instead of like a specific spell, and it's a little bit weird to wrap your head around how that works for you. So you're doing what you feel would be the correct thing to do, and you together manage to fill this little skull up with magic, combine, and eventually you stop because you feel like now it's full, and you do notice now as it's filling up that you can sort of sense the color. That's like a color inside of this of the skull, and it sort of darkens to like a dark blue, maybe dark purplish color inside of it, just swirling, and it looks quite cool, to be honest. And you're now holding the skull, and you can sense the magic from it.
I close off the mag can.
Mm-hmm.
Strix, how does this feel? Do you still have access to your power?
Strix, you can definitely sense you have the same feeling as when the mag can was open in the cave. But it feels more.
Ooh.
And you are back to your level 12 character currently.
Shit.
And Strix just gets an innate sense of that. I don't need to like test out anything.
I mean, if you want to. That's only one way to be sure.
Fireball.
Strix does actually know Fireball, but he will cast True Sight.
Okay.
As he's not really had a good look at this planet yet from his point of view.
Right. You are casting True Sight with so much ease. It's almost easier. The easiest you have cast the spell.
It's the Matrix.
Yes. And with your True Sight, remind me again what the wording is.
For the duration, the creature has True Sight, notices secret doors hidden by magic, can see into the ethereal plane, all out to a range of 120 feet.
Okay. With True Sight, you see there's no trapdoors. Can rule that out quite quickly. But you do sort of sense that there is more around here. It's sort of like it's difficult to exactly say, but it feels like that there is an in-between. on this when you look around. It's sort of like you could sort of see like the you could see the, let's call them ley lines for lack of a better word of something, and the best ways you can describe it is that there is something in between this reality and something else around this planet. You can also see very vividly all the magic and the power that is in this skull of yours. Nessa, can I get you to make a perception check as well, just for the fun of it?
16.
16. You do sense something that you're not 100% sure, and you hope that it's not true, but it does seem like the color lightened a little bit as Strix was casting a spell.
Would I have any insight into what that meant?
Your best guess is probably that he's
Drawing
using
on the
magic. He's drawing magic, yeah.
So they will be limited supply. Potentially.
If your current theory with this very limited information is correct, then this is basically just a very fancy mag can.
That doesn't.
You could be wrong.
But it doesn't leak.
It doesn't
magic.
leak. No, it doesn't leak.
Magic. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't leak. But
okay. Interesting. How'd that feel, Strix?
Good. Seems to be pretty similar to what I'm used to, actually. If I'm being entirely honest, I get the impression somebody's been doing some kind of dimensional manipulation or some other form of otherworldly activity, but in this physical location. I'll need a little while to figure out exactly what that is, but there's something strange about this place, and I'm picking up on it for the first time.
Okay. Well, that's not what I asked, but great information. I'm gonna file that away for future. But the magic itself, that was good.
Potent. Very potent.
Good. Okay. And you think this is a suitable solution? You don't need to have my mag cans anymore?
This seems perfect.
Okay.
You want to do the next one?
Yes. Let's get Arlene over here, perhaps, and get the healing magic going.
You go get Arlene.
We're gonna get Arlene. Hey, you want some magic?
You
want to buy some magic?
Yeah. You're gonna need more than that. What do you mean?
So
Strix's eyes are much whiter than usual. He's,
we're gonna do a thing
staring
with the gelatinous cube. And I hold up the heart. This is for you, and it's going to be filled with your magic and my magic. And I show the mag can, and then you will have magic.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you using the energy from the mag can to do this?
Yes, and your energy as well. So what I need you to do, Arlene, is think of the essence of your healing spells, but not a specific healing spell. And you're going to combine it with my Magcan magic, and it's all going to go in this gooey heart.
Don't we need the Magcan magic to get home?
Yes, but we're just using this one.
The entire Magcan?
No, 1/3 of it. For this.
1/3 of a Magcan?
Trust me when I say that this is solution that I am scientifically happy with.
The theory is it will ultimately become self-sustaining.
Okay.
Would you rather your magic or not your magic?
I don't know how I should guide you into this, because this is just pure nonsense for me. So I trust your judgment.
Am I the DM again?
You're the DM. Quick, go.
Everyone's level 20.
Yes.
Yay!
Are you good?
We've got a muted no cam,
Mm-hmm.
Adam.
Oh, I have a cam.
He's back now.
Oh, okay. I don't have a cam.
That's fine. It's on the stream as well, so it works. It's fine.
Okay. You good? Okay. So yes. Your magic or not your magic?
Yeah. Okay. I suppose.
Great. Okay, so when I open the mag can, you push your healing essence into it as well.
Rix is
Okay.
also sort of explaining sort of like how he felt and what he was doing to maybe make it a little bit easy on you, to get it right. So I want you to make a roll, and you can decide what suits this best, Arcana or Religion.
Both are crap for me, so let's go Arcana.
Fair enough.
Just a normal roll?
Just a normal roll.
17.
17, very good. We're making some cool, I don't know what to call them.
Portable blobs.
I was searching for the word that Neza was using earlier, and I can't find it right now. Anyway, it's strange for you as well, but you
Ancient.
sort of
No, nothing.
but you sort of you can feel the flow from the mag can, and you can pull from that and sort of push your own magic or through as well, and you can feel as you're doing this, you can feel the presence of your guide, and you can see that whatever he's doing his best to, or their best to help in any way that they can as well, and you see how this clear heart is slowly turning like a very light yellow, slowly, and eventually you feel like it's enough, and Neza is also turning off the mag can, and there you go.
How do you feel?
So,
You have magic?
yeah.
You hold the heart in your hand, and you can feel the magic coming from it. You can feel that whatever power you normally use, that it's just emanating with this power, and you feel again. You feel like back in the cave when the mag can was open, but more.
I feel.
Congratulations, you're level 12.
Thank you.
Level up.
I'm very wary of whatever it is you've just done. An element of it just doesn't feel right to me. I'm not entirely even sure why, but like, it just feels a bit odd. So I'm assuming Strix and Neza were expecting like some sort of reaction, but I'm just kind of standing there looking at this heart like, I don't really know what this is, and we're playing with elements that we don't really understand on a planet that we don't understand, with evil forces we don't understand, and I don't know.
Should have done an anatomically correct heart. I told you it should have been anatomically correct. I feel much better about it.
I don't think that anybody
was a
would have felt
real
better
heart.
looking at like a beating heart. Like,
I would.
yeah, you're not normal.
I suppose.
You're very creepy.
I suppose.
Are you trying to cast anything, or you still just don't know what to do with it?
Well, they haven't told me what it does. I'm just saying.
Cast something, Arliam, because you should have, by my calculations, you should have all full range of your abilities.
Okay. Level 12 were the sheets we made originally, weren't they?
Yes, yes. I mean, I know what spell I would cast, but I'm not.
I can't even remember what spells I have at level 12. To be honest.
Polymorph.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Vicious mockery.
Become a gorilla.
Yeah. I will probably, since that was the one we were talking about earlier, I will cast Polymorph.
It's easy.
You mentioned earlier I can take the form of that flying bird.
Mm-hmm.
I attempt that.
You are turning into not as large though, but you are turning into something that resembles it. At least as you remember, as good as you remember it from your short encounter. But smaller scale. But yeah, you do that.
I have a question just before this. Where's Jat?
Yeah, I was just about to say we forgot everything about that.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Master.
Where is Jet? Where?
He brought us to the river, and then we forgot about it. We just walked to.
Hi, Dad.
I assumed he was with.
Yeah, I mean he's with you because you told him that you would bring him to his master, but he's probably at this point it is a little bit late, so he's probably just lying sleeping somewhere.
Follow-up question. So you've just turned into a miniature giant version of this in the middle of camp, and no one's terrified?
There might be. I don't know.
I mean, they probably brought Aline back to the lab.
Okay.
To be fair, so,
Also, if I turn into a bear, they'd be fucking terrified as well. It doesn't really matter what I chose. They'd be probably be a little bit scared.
What level is Polymorph?
We brought a monster
4.
back to the camp.
Merry Christmas.
The same thing happens though, Neza. You realize that as he's casting spells, you can see that the color is getting lighter in the heart, and I think this is a higher spell than what Strix cast, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think it's lower level.
What is the true sight?
True sight 6, level 6.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's not as much, but it does. You do feel like you see again, because now you're paying attention to it. You do see like the coloration is disappearing a little bit.
Okay. Well, how did that feel? You feel good?
It feels nice being able to do...
You're a red, scaly bird now.
Oh, yeah, I'm probably roaring in response. I turn and look back into myself. And kind of like look at my arms, and I'm like, this feels right. As in, these are the spells that I'm usually able to cast, but something just feels wrong. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like me.
I mean, if you don't want it, you can give it back to me.
I didn't say that.
Oh, so you want my technological, magical solution to your power?
I never said that I didn't want it or that it was bad. I'm just letting you know that I just doesn't feel right. Something about it feels off. I don't know what.
Okay. Well, you can keep it, but also, if it feels too uncomfortable, I'm sure there is somebody else who has healing magic who would love to have access to their power.
I know one. Sorry,
why can't you? Why can't you give
Who's
them
saying that?
please?
Who are you, strange person?
Sorry, Arlene, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, Rick. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I was just like, why can't you give them one of these as well?
I could. maybe in the future. But I would rather it be somebody who I trust.
She said through gritted teeth. Yeah, no, this is... if we find ourselves in the situations we've been in so far, then this will probably come in huge usefulness. I just... You asked me how I felt. I just wanted to let you know how I felt, honestly.
Okay. I appreciate it. And I would also, appreciate further status updates on your feelings, because that will be great for my records and for making them in the future. And I realize that sounded sarcastic, but it was genuine.
I understood. That's fine.
Okay. I turn back to Strix.
They turn to Neza.
They kiss.
Finally!
No! Stop trying to make Neza into a person who does that stuff. It's not gonna happen. But what does happen? Do we leave it here, or do we do the...
You know the theory better than I do.
I just don't know if it's a good idea.
I know what you're saying.
In theory, yay elemental magic. In practice, Wardem has unlimited access to all this power, which I might already have as well. I mean, we don't really know. He is like the untested theory.
Sorry, 1 second. Is Amanda thinking that Wartham will bring the elemental magic?
Isn't that what you said?
No.
Correct.
Wartham was for the regenerative aspect of it, but the elemental was Thrak.
Oh god, that's even worse!
Not the dwarf! I'd rather go with the killer thing from space.
Sorry, so...
But it's a wide range of stuff, so it could potentially be very useful for even users that don't normally use magic. Like, let's say, who do we have? Neza, Auburn.
Fuck. What time is it?
Yeah, in game.
Yeah.
Or out of game. In game.
I have a clock, Marty. I can tell my own time.
I'm just making sure. I don't know. In game, it's probably it has become dark. The sun has gone down, but it's not necessarily people are still up around, and you have campfires and stuff going.
Okay. Can we see him easily?
Yeah, you can also hear him.
Everyone
He's sitting
can
and
hear him.
talking.
I mean, this changes the entire approach. Instead of being wary about doing it, she just doesn't want to.
Auburn is trying to lighten the mood in the camp by playing his flute.
Awesome. Can we get a performance check?
Sure.
Let's see if I need to change the music.
It's 9.
It's 9. We have to change the music then. It's very to some people it might lighten the mood. I don't know.
So bad it's good.
Can I ask a question to Neza that's been on my mind?
Uh-huh.
Is there anyone here that shouldn't be here?
You mean other than Benjamin?
Minus Benjamin.
Not as far as I know.
So everyone in the camp is relatively accounted for? / came with us through the portal?
Honestly, like, that's more a question for Auburn. He was doing the people manifest. I was just doing the supplies.
That's fair. Maybe I need to ask Wolven this question. I'm just thinking
Did
now
you
we know Wolven can take shape.
A suspicion? Oh, that's terrifying thought. Thank you for haunting my nightmares. So I don't dream.
You're welcome.
Wait, if Strix hears this,
I'm having this conversation openly, yeah.
yeah, he's gonna, without saying anything, leave the lab and just have a quick fly around camp and look at everybody, because he should still have True Sight active.
Yeah. In that case, since you have True Sight active, you see a lot of normal people having normal, well, sort of normal lives in this space, and then you see. Nope, that's it.
Sorry.
No, you don't see. If you're looking for Warterm or his type of magic being around, then no. The only you can still sense whatever in between is, but that's it. You don't. You can't.
He would see.
Nobody's.
He would see Auburn for what Auburn actually looks like.
Yeah.
Is that not what I would expect?
Well, you know how I look like, but
Okay.
right now I'm overlaid by.
Yeah, he's shifted, but
Yeah.
Smaller version of Auburn is inside.
And in terms of anybody else that's not currently in their true form, it's only Auburn.
Not in their true form. I mean, yeah, I think so. It makes no sense to make something up just for the sake of it. No, everything else looks normal. So,
Wouldn't Strix notice Otis is not an owlbear?
oh, but, I mean, he already. Sure, if you look at Otis, then you would see an imp. So,
I'll come. Yeah, I'll then immediately return and just say, I think we're clean. Just
Okay.
Just Otis.
It was just on my mind since we figured out that he could take different shapes. That's all.
I mean, this is still Strix will hold up his skull. This is still, very prototype, early stage stuff. So maybe check the manifest as well. But
I'll chat to Auburn tomorrow.
You see Neza come to a decision, get up and just leave the makeshift lab and go to where she can hear Thrak be very loud.
and that's when I told them, "No, you are not getting past me." That's glorious.
She
There are-
stands close-ish to him. And
Everyone
wait-
else around the campfire is looking up at you, and as their look shifts to you, Thrag also, and then looks up at you.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Can I borrow you?
yeah, sure. And he gets up and walks over to you.
Will you accompany me to the lab, please?
I mean, yeah, sure. Is it news?
It's science.
Okay, maybe I should have asked it differently. Can we go home soon?
It's not that kind of science either.
Oh, okay. Okay, and
Okay.
he follows you.
Inside the lab. So, Thrak,
Neza.
I have developed a way to carry magic here. And I was wondering if you would contribute to a prototype.
I mean, that would most definitely. Does it work?
So far, we have created 2, and they seem to work.
I mean, obviously, it's not the news that I was expecting to get, but that's if that's true, that's amazing. That would really help the camp out.
Yes, the camp is exactly the intended purpose of this at this point in time.
All right, tell me what to do.
Okay, so you have elemental magic.
That's correct.
Great. I hold up the lightning bolt gel. You are going to focus your magic into this lightning bolt when I open the mag can, and Strix will explain how to make that feel better for you.
All right. What role would it be for Strix to try and explain this to him?
I have no idea. Strix will give a very textbook.
Okay.
Learned definition of So it's
not even wisdom. I mean, it's just straight up intelligence check. Okay. You're just blabbering stuff at him. So yeah. You're not trying to and sugarcoat anything. You're just, these are the hard facts. Let's go.
Yeah.
11.
11.
Okay. Okay. Go on.
Do you understand what you need to do?
Sure.
Do you have any questions? Because I wouldn't want to waste any of this magic if you're unsure of your part in this experiment.
I mean, I think Strix explained everything. Sure.
Okay.
You've done elemental folds before, right? It's very standard. You need to be careful. There's a bit of a relapse about 3 seconds in. You just want to watch out for that.
Okay.
Now, when I open this canister, you're going to feel a rush of power, and I need you to direct that into this lightning bolt.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
As ready as you get, I guess.
Okay, then I open the mag can. Do your thing.
I'm now remembering how many nat ones Thrax rolled this campaign.
He is cursed.
He sure is. You weren't kidding when you said there was some kind of kick like 3 seconds in, because you see how as first of all, he starts channeling whatever elemental magic he can. And you can see how all his runic tattoos in different elemental signs starts to glow up, and then because you have seen and tried it a few times, Strix, you see how the magic from the mag can is, because he's not really sure what he's doing, so he's drawing on that magic as well as his own magic, so he's getting surprised by it. And you see how as that 3-second kicks in, he falls right on his ass, and it's like, oh, and you can see that he's almost losing concentration on the spell.
I am gonna cast Silvery Barbs.
All right, do that.
I don't need to do anything. He just gets to reroll.
He gets to reroll. Okay.
Yeah. You can you can reroll.
Yeah.
Good choice.
What was it? That one. You can sense how he's, almost overwhelmed by this magic, and he's, as he is trying to channel, but also getting this magic, and you can see that he's really, really struggling with this. He's, sure, he has these elemental abilities, but he is a fighter at heart. He's definitely not a magic user normally. Anything else you want to try and throw into the mix?
I guess I'll land on his shoulder and give him, and give a bit of shocking grasp, a bit of lightning bolt to lend all the elemental magic that Strix knows into the mix. Not like actually casting the spells, just like focusing on that element of Strix's magic.
It's cool. Let me find it. Quick. And you taking some of the load off him makes him. You can see that whatever was going on was very out of balance, but it sort of balances it. It's back in a little bit, and you can see that he's getting back up on his feet, and he's trying to channel the best as he can while you're taking some of the load. And when it comes to the point when Neza turns off the mag can, he falls to the ground as soon as it turns out off, panting, and he's like, oh, I don't know what that was, but it's sure going to give a hangover tomorrow.
You did great.
Maybe though.
But you look at the lightning bolt, and you can see that there's a lot of lightning, funny enough, that is, inside it, just lightning going off. But you do see water swirling around as well. You see some fire, and you see some cloud-like. It's actually really beautiful. It has so many colors, and it sort of like just lights up the whole this very simple lab that you have, almost sort of like a disco ball-ish thing where there's just lights everywhere, and it's the people at the tavern where Alim met Strix would have loved this effect.
Just tap him on the shoulder. Good job.
Thank you, Thrak.
Okay, was that it?
That was it. Yep.
I can keep going if you need me to.
No, I don't think that's a very good idea right now. I think you should go to bed, actually.
I did get quite tired.
Yeah. Do you have like a drink or something? Take some water.
No, the last thing I had was when Alim came around. We really need to start making some kind of booze around here, and then he just staggers out of.
I agree. Okay, so we have this elemental stone as well. Elemental cube stone. No, I don't like that either. Gel stone. No.
Neza, you've had quite a intense day as well. You've been fighting these things and the bad ones and everything, and when you were walking back here, you did you did feel sort of like a physical exhaustion a little bit, and obviously you've been working for into the late hours by now, but you actually do sort of feel like this worked. You do feel a little bit invigorated, and congrats, you're level 12 as well.
Yay! Is it just because I'm holding this spellstone?
Or maybe just because you're near it.
Okay.
But Neza doesn't know that yet.
Interesting. Okay.
You and me, Jake, we'll get there someday.
Someday.
Yeah.
Amazing. We have some magic. I don't know about you, Strix. I don't know if Arlene stayed in here with us, but I think I want to go to bed. I am ready for a sleep.
It sounds like a good idea. Actually, if I refer to the original protocols for this mission, part of what I was supposed to do was to reanimate anyone that was fallen as part of the mission, so that we'd at least have the same amount of muscle power.
I'm sorry. They instructed you to create undead out of our people?
You've been working at the Infusion and Arcane Core for a while. You must know what they're about, right?
I mean,
I'm
I
just,
know.
like,
What
I mean to say is, how many undead workers would you like to have in the morning?
I'm going to bed. And just walks out.
Streak stares down. All of them.
Fuck.
All right, I know it's getting quite late and we should probably end very soon, but I just want to know, Strix, how many bodies are you going to animate?
No, he'll just stick to the ones that he's got for now.
Okay.
If that was Nessa's reaction.
Okay. Is he going to try it now? Because I believe that.
No, he'll just do it in the
while.
morning. I've spent pretty much all of my spell slots for the day fighting things.
Auburn, any last things from Camp Auburn?
No, Auburn is just trying to cheer up camp
Okay.
before going to bed, but he is going to continue to try to stay in his shifted form.
Okay.
As long as he can.
Well, let's end you off with a quick Constitution saving throw then.
14.
Okay. Yeah. He'll stay in it for now. At least until he goes to sleep. Jake or Benjamin, any last thing?
I actually have a lot of stuff, but I think we'll save that for the beginning of next session.
Okay. And unless Aleem has something after he has gained all this power, then I think that's it for this week. Thank you for staying a little bit longer, everyone, just to get these conduits. There we go.
There you go.
Remember that.
We got these conduits made.
Oh yeah.
Great. Great. Good session. Lots happened.
Great session.
Yeah. A lot to talk
A lot
about.
happened, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Arlene killed someone. Something.
Neza and Auburn almost died to a
I was gonna say,
cube.
can we not ignore the fact that Arlene literally kept the entire fucking party on its feet as well?
No, I was. You always say oh, I never hit anything. So I was like, you did hit something, and you killed it. And
You just said it as in
that's a
Arlene
great
did
moment.
something.
No,
well done,
it was
Arlene.
Arlene killed something. Yay! But not sarcastic, because I always just sound sarcastic, and
That encounter was carried by Aleem.
Thank you.
Literally. I would be dead.
Because Auburn, he's just relaxing inside the cube. That's what he's doing.
Relaxing. Having a nice skin treatment.
Chemical peel.
Shut up, Michael.
All right.
Okay,
We're done.
we're done.
Do we say goodbye to people now?
We can say goodbye to people. Yeah, that's a thing that we can do. So thanks everyone for watching, listening, tuning in. If you're listening on a podcast, thank you very much. Please give us a review, 5 stars. Would be excellent. Not that I don't want to influence your decision, but 5 stars would just be magic. Thank you. You can find the Crowded Tavern at thecrowdedtavern.com. And there you can find links to all of our social media and our YouTube, which is also Crowded Tavern. And if you really like what you hear and you want to hang out with us on a personal basis, you can join our Discord at crowdedtavern.com/Discord. That's all from us. We'll see you next week for the podcast listeners, for last orders, and in 2 weeks on Twitch. I don't know what that date is, but that's when we'll be here. Have a lovely rest of your time whenever you're listening to this. Bye.
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 Bye.